He got his.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to tonight's podcast. We got a stacked house tonight, man. We got Mr. Don Dunn, we got Kellen and Zach from Dream Media. We got Aaron from Aaron's Audio Corner, aka / Daily Hi-Fi. And then we got Matt Pose from Matt Pose. Guys, I just introduced you, but if you want to introduce yourself, feel free to.
I don't have as good a voice as you, so thanks.
I like that I'm Matt Pose from Matt Pose now.
Isn't that your channel's name?
Well, I appreciate you having us on, the Dream Media team here today. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, man. Look, you represent with your company shirt on.
Absolutely, man. We never stop working here.
So, just so some of you guys know, I do have some products coming in from Dream Media this week. I got the Mad VR NV. What is it? Is that the biggest one, the best one? That's coming tomorrow.
Yes. So you have the NV Extreme that should be arriving tomorrow.
I don't think anybody even buys the other one.
The cheap one.
Well,
And then the Denon, the Denon A1H AVR one. I don't even know the model number. Whatever the newest Denon AVR is, that should be coming in Friday. Zach, you checked it out.
We're
What do you think about it?
A couple great pieces. Want to get your honest opinion. Check them out. Let your audience know what you think. It is the new Denon A1H. It's a 15.4 channel AVR processor and amplifier all in one. It's a beast, but it's only 150 watts of channel, 2 channels driven. So I'll be curious to see how that actually performs if you're utilizing the full potential of the AVR. So put it to the test, put it through its paces, and let your audience know what you think. Ellen, you want to give them a lowdown on? Yeah, it's a beast, and we could talk about it a little bit more. Kellen, you want to give a recap on the differences between the Mad VR, NV, and Extreme?
Mainly, it's going to be between the Extreme and the Pro. You have the geometry correction for the Extreme. So if you're running an anamorphic lens, you can kind of get rid of the barrel distortion digitally with the Extreme. You can't do that on the Pro. It's going to be upgradable in the future. So as more things come out, like the motion interpolation, I think that's going to be an upgrade soon. How quick is soon though? I have no idea anymore these days. What else? There's the subtitle relocation. And I think right now that's it. So if you're watching something that has subtitles and it's throwing them below your screen, if you're running a scope screen, it'll bring them up into the viewing area. So
nice. I can't wait to check that out. I'm really interested in seeing that aspect ratio switching on the fly.
It's a new
if it does its job, you won't be able to check it out. It'll just be seamless.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is it plug and play fixes all your problems.
Let's see, man. Hopefully tomorrow.
We need Joey Peacock on here.
Joey's awesome.
He never did send me that actor's muse.
Integra dropped their new flagship today.
Here's a good question. So Tyler Walters, you're asking if there's benefits to running the NV over running a Mad VR on a PC. So yes, the main thing, if you're running the free Mad VR software off of a PC, you have to watch your content through the PC. So that's fine if you're running it through a Plex server, you're watching your movies through that PC. But if you are trying to watch a Blu-ray, things like that, you won't be able to do it. So those are the main differences there. So if you're running the free software off a PC, all of your content has to come off from that PC. So where the Envy
Does that also
is
upscale?
one product.
Does that upscale? If you got an 8K display, does it upscale to 8K for you?
If you have a 1080p display, is that what you said?
No, if you got an 8K display.
Yes, yeah, it does upscaling. Yep. That's honestly, because I run a 16:9 screen, that's honestly where I see the biggest benefit in my, like the tone mapping, yes, is great. I don't really use the nonlinear stretch because I'm running 16:9. I do crop out some of the black bars, like 20%, so they're not, so the content does fill up the screen a little better. But when I'm watching like UFC fights and all this stuff that's 1080p streaming, it does look a lot better going to the Matt VR than it does just right off the Apple TV or something like that.
Well, man, I think
Nice,
a huge
yeah, I get
benefit
you.
of that too is if you're running a 241 or 235 screen, that's what we're going to use in our new showroom. So we're excited about that.
Aaron, let's let you take this question here
Oh,
from what's his name?
Hayward,
I'm named after my
Blow me.
grandmother. Yeah,
hey, would you blow me?
that makes perfect sense, man. So what I would say is that, like, if you want to do that, you certainly can, but you probably should be able to change your name legally. If you just go down to like your local courthouse or something, you should be able to start the paperwork for that. So, and thanks for the super chat, man. We appreciate that.
It ain't hard to do that.
Thank you.
Change my name to Ivan
Ivan what?
Yakinov.
Okay. You're welcome.
Kellen with the funny.
You know, my 8-year-old daughter was begging to join. She wanted to come on the show. I was talking to Dawn earlier, and she was in the back of the car, and she was like, "I want to come too. I want to come too." This is
That's my girl. She's a doll.
This is why she can't.
Hey, would you blow me? We're still waiting on Mike Hunt. He's coming up pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Or Ben Dover.
Bend over.
See
Bob.
So listen, this is the first time Aaron's been on the channel too. So what's new? What's going on over there, Aaron?
dude. Not
All your
thing.
technical reviews. I can't watch
Yeah,
the reviews.
so-
They're too technical for me. I have no idea what you're talking
Well,
about.
that's the point. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, man. You know, the more I can confuse people, the more they think I know what I'm talking about, and then I just feel good because it's an overinflated ego thing for me. That's all it's about. No, in all seriousness, I haven't been doing anything for a while. I recently moved into a new home, and let's kind of tell Matt backstage before. I haven't even set up my computer desk. Ordered like a sit stand desk. I'm super psyched on it, but it's been in the
Show 'em your
process of
keyboard.
being there for 2 weeks. So yeah, so right now I've commandeered my daughter's room, and this is the keyboard.
That's a pretty cool keyboard, actually.
It is. It's a mechanical keyboard. She's psyched on it. So
Sorry,
Talking
William.
about.
Yeah.
I hear you got a McIntosh. What's up with that?
yeah, I've got an MC462 to try to test out at some point. Right, I've got to build like
Nice.
dummy loads and all that crap. And just I don't know. Been
Have you
having
been
trouble
listening to
getting
it yet?
motivated lately. Man, no, I haven't even taken out the plastic wrap yet. I've just been staring at it. It's been sitting there waiting for me.
Damn. Did you buy that or did they send that to you?
No, it's loaned for review. Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was
Heck
gonna say
no,
you're really
bought it,
special.
I've
They
been
lent you
using
some.
it. Yeah. Yeah. They just loaned it out for the time being. So we'll see, man. I look forward to messing around with it though. And I'll probably try to buy it at some point, but who knows?
Got to get those blue meters, no matter what it sounds like.
I don't care. I don't care what it measures like. I don't care. I just want the blue meters, you know? I heard
That's
you
pretty
could buy
much
stuff
their
like that
whole
on eBay.
thing. That's
Yeah.
their whole gimmick.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. They got me. I'm a sucker for it.
That's why they're in my rack, even though I haven't been using them. I've been using the Trinnov amps, but I mean the McIntosh just looks so nice, powered on.
They're so cool, man. I want some of the
Yeah.
1.25 kilowatt amps, like a pair of those.
Yeah.
Shane, what are your thoughts on the Mac versus the Trinnov? Because we currently are repping Trinnov and selling that as a companion piece with the altitude, the amplitude companion piece. But we're considering bringing on McIntosh this quarter, going into quarter two. What are your thoughts?
Well, the Trinnov, you know, like John and all those Trinnov guys have told me that it's like gain match to the Trinnov. So, you know, I always get a little bit of hiss out of my amps, out of the Macs, whereas on the Trinnov,
Like
it's dead
feedback
silent.
in the line?
Yeah. And with these external speakers, since they're so efficient, I think they're like 93 or 94 dB sensitive. I hear a lot more hiss out of the Max, like knowingly so almost, because I've got like 16 speakers, and I can really hear everything kind of just psst, where on the Trinnov amp it's just like dead quiet. That's one little annoying thing when having speakers.
You have
that are so
everything
sensitive
grounded?
like that. Yeah, everything's like fine. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, it's not like you can't hear it, obviously, if you're listening.
I
to
know exactly
watch
what
movies.
you're talking about. Yeah, whenever the system's just in standby.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't turn up if it's on standby. If you raise the volume, the hiss doesn't get louder or anything like that. It's just very low level.
Noise.
Yeah, it's low level, but with all your speakers, it becomes louder.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that can be obnoxious. Interesting.
The
Sorry,
Trinnov
Great
preamp
product to
has
sell because people just want it.
the Trinnov preamp has higher voltage output than most of the other surround preamp processors. Like clean output up to 6 volts, I think it is. And so they dropped the gain. They did this all on purpose. They dropped the gain on their amps, so that you can get a higher output on the preamp instead. Yeah, and it makes it so that you get about a 10 dB improvement in signal to noise ratio and synad for the full amp preamp set together, compared to what you would get with a normal amplifier, which has like 27 to 32 dB of gain. I think it's typical.
Max 26.
Yeah.
I would assume it's even. When I heard the theater in Germany, when everything was turned off and it was just like sitting there idle, they got like 90 some speakers in there, and that sucker was like. I was like, damn. I was like, what's that? They were using some. Well, they're Ascendo amps, and then I think they had some Crown amps in there as well. So I thought that was kind of a little jarring when I was just sitting there in the quiet.
Crown amps are not known for their quietness.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
They're just as
So
good.
yeah, that's my thoughts on that. I mean, it's fine with like I used to have like Bowers and Wilkins and the Perlissons, and those are fine with the Mac amps. They weren't like horrible or anything like that. It's just these new Ascendo speakers. They're so sensitive that it just jacks everything up a lot louder. So I guess it really depends. When people say match your speakers and your amps together, this is kind of one of those situations, I guess. But both great amps, though. Yeah, both really good amps. I just would probably choose the Trinnov amp with the Trinnov processor, unless you're just like me and Aaron, you want to get those meters. You can't go wrong. It's still a sweet sounding amplifier, and it looks awesome too.
The meters are cool.
Those
Get you
SBLs.
some Macs and some clip shorns in the corner, man.
That's
what you need to do.
Maybe not some clip horns, maybe not, but
Well, you tested those. They measured really well, didn't they?
which ones, man?
All of them.
Oh no. The Forte was all right, but the Heresy, I was like, good Lord. The Heresy has so much resonance in it that it's unbearable to me. Like once you hear the 2 or 3 different resonances it has in the lower male vocals, it drives me insane. I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
And people argue with me all day about it. Oh, I love mine. I'm like, that's cool. I don't. So
I mean, it's just a product people want to buy. They want to reminisce.
yeah. Sure.
Everyone likes nostalgia. So we're going to get into this?
I do.
Whose theater are we making fun of?
Shut up, Matt.
Don's background?
Well,
That's got business.
since he's our guest, let's get into Zach's home theater first.
Yeah, I threw it out there earlier. I figured this would be a great one for you guys to tear up.
We're not going to tear it.
It's not really a theater. It's more of a media room.
Media room home theater / something.
Come on.
Oh, this is
Well, in
where
this
is it?
video, I present it as a complete home theater because the whole point of this series was to show all of my customers from around the country on the East Coast, West Coast, the average guy, that you don't have to have a perfectly rectangular shaped room with no windows to still enjoy watching movies, So made the best of the space and showed a solution that doesn't break the bank. You guys let me know. Pick it apart.
All right, let's go. He says doesn't break the bank. Let's see.
Table to
First
all
of all,
the-
your
is that a
center
video?
channel in the cabinet. Come on, man.
the furniture getting out of here
Come
after
on,
we kind of
Hold on. What is this on that side wall there? Are those skateboards? Snowboards.
No,
Snowboards.
snowboard.
Yeah, snowboards.
Okay,
diffusers.
interesting choice for decoration in your home theater. But okay, let's go.
Beanbag chairs and a L-shaped sectional. Then I went and wired the entire room. Went through fire breaks.
I dig it. You put an L-shaped sectional in there. I mean, I personally wouldn't went like actual theater chairs, but this feels more like living room. Obviously, it is, but you call it a home theater. Maybe not put a sectional in there.
And went through header
Theater chairs would look
beams.
like
Had
shit.
to get all the wiring up through the
Yeah.
Keep it coming.
attic
I
for
like
my
it.
6 Dolby Atmos.
Why is everything so light colored in there? What is that, beige?
It might be grayish.
And dropped in
Grayish.
extra cat cables, did some RGB wiring.
Expensive bass
The
trap
list
in that
goes
front right
on.
corner.
So where do we currently sit today? Right now, we have what
Oh,
is
it's going right out the chimney,
the
so it's
port.
okay.
No, that's the port.
called a 5.2.6 Dolby Atmos system. What that means is I have 5 bed layers, my front left, right, and center at the front soundstage.
Where's that center channel?
In the
Is that on
cabinet.
the floor? Is it
the
mounted on the
floor.
floor?
Inside the cabinet. So later
Is
in
it
the
at least
episode,
pointing upwards?
cabinet.
it's inside of the cabinet. I'm sure you're loving that.
On the
So,
bottom, like
yeah,
under
man.
the projector.
yeah, like on the floor, firing at your feet.
I'm glad you can still enjoy movies with that.
Most important speaker.
Did you say that this was a budget system?
I mean,
For Zach.
I thought it was
Yeah, for Zach.
reasonably priced. Yeah.
I think
This was
those snowboards probably cost more than this whole home theater.
Those are acoustic snowboards. Get it right.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
No acoustics in
And
the
I have
space.
my
no
surround
sound.
left and
Nice.
right for my low level effects. And then I have 2 subwoofers for my
Those are
Is that
the
the
new
Sony-
snowboards
those
from
are
Snow
Sony?
Sound. Those are absorption panels.
How'd you,
Are those
how'd you
subwoofers
put-
from Sony?
lights
Remember
in
those Sony party jam speakers with the LEDs around the cones?
That's it. You got a microphone?
frequency effects.
There's a karaoke
And
machine built in.
overhead, I have 6 Dolby Atmos
Fancy.
Vocal 300 series aimable speakers, as well as.
I'm trying to add it up in my head of what this system actually costs, especially with the Kaleidoscape.
Well, yeah, Kaleidoscape costs more than the rest of it.
Yeah, he said budget. Then he threw a Kaleidoscape in there.
Atmos all in place. I've also done some video installs. So what we have here at the front of the room is the Epson Silverflex 120-inch ALR ultra short throw.
ALR is
Those-
working pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
what
That's real
ALR
nice.
stands for, guys.
Yeah.
So as you can see,
Don, have you
we
seen the
massive
Epson, the new
12-foot
Epson
windows
Ultra Short
here.
Throw?
Not
Did
the
you
brand
ever
new
did?
one.
Okay.
I mean, they're just, center channels are a pain in the ass with those.
Yeah.
So
that
I
original
won't
one
go
with the little,
later in
that original
this
one with the
episode-
lens used to suck.
Sorry, go ahead, guys.
right behind me, as well as
Yo, I dig those chairs. I like them. They look comfy.
massive windows up here behind the camera, and you can still see the picture here on the screen. Now, what's broadcasting that image? We have that brand new Epson LS800,
Ooh.
which everybody knows.
It does look
Epson
way
has
way
been
better,
my
though.
go-to for
does.
Nah,
video.
cosmetically, it's
And
night and day,
LS800
but
absolutely
I think performance is, it's a little better, but I don't think it's
lumen
like,
output. And with this year's
Salamander cabinet
Miles
still.
better.
I love Salamander.
yeah.
I mean, that
those
one
cabinets
speaker
are
looks like a
nice.
trip hazard.
So Zach, you
kids?
got the bottom of your truck with the little lights on it and shit, man. All LED'd out when you go around.
The reasoning
match.
I went all out on the LEDs was to get people to click on the thumbnail.
Shit, I could see Zach rolling around with a fur coat and shit like a pimp, and his Mercedes all LED'd out, rolling around Colorado and shit, sipping on.
Do those
later-
speakers have those speakers have up-firing Atmos on them?
No.
ports.
No?
There's 6 Atmos speakers in the ceiling. The A6s for the fronts and mids, and the ICW6 for the rear Atmos.
Yeah, Shane,
Which
those
sound
front-
great, by the way.
The
So you're not
302s.
running anything for side surrounds?
So
Can't.
that's what I was trying to do. The reason I said entry or budget or reasonable in cost is I was trying to take people on a journey through an upgrade path for the space. And I didn't want to start with like super entry level, but I didn't want to just go throwing in utopias day one. Plus, Focal sent me 2 pallets of speakers I had to do content on right after this video was made. So I didn't want to go mounting the speaker to the wall. What's really cool with that 302 is you can actually fit it between the screen and the projector, and it won't block the projector's image. So that was going to be the plan. So I did the video on the new Vestia series speakers, the 1, 2s, and 3s, as well as the new Sopra and the concrete finish, which is going to come out on the channel here soon. The Sopra number 2 and the concrete finish with their new Classique 2-channel stuff. And then, that's why this was set up the way it is. And then SI is sending me their ultra short throw ALR screen in 100-inch, which is actually a little
Black
bit
diamond or the slate. Do you know?
I think it's a 0.8.
Either, bro. You don't do those with the short throw.
No, it's
Yeah.
that material.
So they have a proprietary short throw material.
It's its own
So
thing.
that's
It's
why I
not
wanted to
short throw.
get it in the house, because I wanted to compare it next to Epson's technology that they use for their screen. Not to mention, it's going to be a little bit more proportional to the wall at 100 inches. And then I was going to show this setup with the 302s flanking it, which I think is going to look really good with them mounted to the wall. And then I'll leave it there. I got more goodies coming, but eventually, I got the Amp 10 and the AV 10 over here, which are going to be upcoming videos for our subscribers to check out, where I'm going to configure that whole thing and add inside surround. So
You froze?
Yeah, you froze.
Hey, does he have motorized shades in his house? You should have
chucking the deuce.
send you some shades.
Yeah, he's got nano shades.
Yeah.
Does he?
He really made some serious upgrades. The cabinet looks extremely clean.
Was it a
A
salamander?
lot more modern looking. They
Yeah.
got rid of that snorkel
Yep.
that they used to have. And now the unit sits super close to the wall. I'm only 6.8 inches from unit itself to the screen, broadcasting a massive 120-inch image. The LS800 also features their 3 LCD technology that you're going to find in a lot of their other models, like the Pro and the Home.
Can you say
cinema
anything
line.
about
As you
the
guys know, I'm a
other
big
projectors
fan
that you're
of
getting,
the
Zach?
new LS
I didn't
1000.
want to spoil the surprise. We'll just wait.
Gotcha.
I got enough down the pipeline. We can talk about it on another podcast.
As well as the LS 11,000. If you're looking for a standard overhead front throw projection,
This one's
that's
kinda hard
an
to roast.
Amazing model.
I
I mean,
Man.
it's a cool system. I mean, if you can put that center channel under the screen, that would make it better.
Here's
but, I
where
mean,
you
it's
can
cool.
roast. You can roast the paint color, the windows, no acoustics, the center speaker.
Yeah,
And
but you do have some things on the wall. You have carpet, so it's
think,
not like you're already
they meet-
compromising doing a short throw. So it's like
Me and Don are still early
I
on in
think
the
it's
night,
still a
so
great system.
we haven't progressed yet, me and Don.
The house is
yeah, I
badass.
feel like you guys can dig deep. You can definitely roast some stuff here.
Well, I mean, that is listen, you don't want to kill your daughter. You got that speaker just hanging out there. She's gonna walk past that. It's gonna fall over. That's a trip hazard for one. That's just dangerous.
That's
I
what
mean,
you
they're so
got.
slim, you can hang them on the wall.
In the video where I'm setting these up on the stands, it was bath time, and my son was just running laps around it as I'm trying to set the thing up.
So
Things not to do in your home
Cal
theater.
302s are so shockingly good for what they are. If you cross them over at like 100, I mean, they're shockingly good. They're super dynamic. I mean, it's good
Those
gear.
beryllium tweeters? Those beryllium?
No,
No,
aluminum,
no.
magnesium.
It's the same tweeter that they use in the Arias.
300.
So this tech is what
Oh, yeah.
made me fall in love with Focal back in 2019 at CEDIA. They had their full 724 system set up at CEDIA that year with introducing the 300 series architectural line. And I was like, wow, this
They
sounds
sound
wicked.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly good. Really.
You got to cross them over at 100 hertz, though, you said?
We usually do. I mean, they're.
Yeah.
I mean, they
They
don't
got
go
those small
too deep.
little woofers, little
Yeah.
4-inch woofers. But me and Kellen even heard it in this horrific acoustic environment, this massive open floor plan in Frisco, Texas. It was crazy high up above a mantle like firing way over their head and
No sub.
into an open concept space with a kitchen and dining, the whole massive room, no acoustics, and it still sounded amazing. And that was right when it first came out. And we were like, wow, sold.
Well, and he was running at full range too because he had no sub, and that's what really surprised us was the amount of just low end that it.
I know Aaron's a big fan of the architectural focals, aren't you, Aaron?
Oh yeah, they're great. I'm
What
not
was the
seeing any.
rationale
you
behind the
did
6
right?
overheads?
You did a review on those, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I was being sarcastic. They were not. I was appalled by the performance versus the money.
Yeah, but we've done them in tons of jobs and they sound great. So
Yeah, I mean, I believe you. I don't know, man. I expected a lot better out of what you were paying for.
Damn, Zach. We just cut to that shot
I
too.
guess
with
you'll
the
have
Zoom
to
walls.
go for.
Just edit that out, Shane. No, just kidding.
I think you use that.
There's a
Chinese
lot worse
drywall.
out there, that's for sure.
I don't know, man. They were pretty bad, but
Love the honesty.
yeah, I mean, it's there. So
So Zach, what was the
Those are
rationale
good.
for the 6 overheads? Like everything else was kind of budget, but you went kind of all out there, it seems.
Well, the reason I did the 6 overhead, it was because I wanted to do the video for the Cinema 50. The Cinema 50 had just come out, the Marantz, and I wanted to show how to configure that for our customer base. I did a setup video showing them step by step how to go through all the settings and everything on the Cinema 50. Plus, when I was running the lines, I'm like, I'm not getting up there again. So there's even the voice of God is wired in. Plus, there's an extra 2 speaker wires in case I end up going to 8 Atmos if that becomes a thing. And I ran Cat 6 cables in case I want to throw a bail-in on and do an overhead standard front throw projector.
So does the new Marantz still have the Oro 3D bullshit?
Yeah.
It still has the ability.
Oh, okay.
You were telling me you're going to do that later,
Oral
though.
3D demos out there.
Well, yeah. So I think that would be a good one for everybody to get in on and get some controversial conversation going there about RO3D and Dolby Atmos. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it personally. Dolby Atmos.
No one does. There's no content.
Nobody else does either because there's no content.
Yeah, we spec Dolby Atmos every time. So I just wanted to try it out, give my thoughts on it, play with it myself rather than hear other people's opinions. So I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it yet.
So
Hey,
hey,
you
I got
probably
a general
like it.
question for you guys. When you're doing, okay, so right now I'm in a rental. So this is some of the ideas I'm kicking around. I'd like to do, I don't think I could do it Atmos, but number one, I can't cut into anything, right? So what do you do? Do you just,
Well, why don't you cut into
The
it? Just replace
Nakamichi
it.
Dragon soundbar.
Uh-oh. Soundbar, okay.
Is that
Just
was
kidding.
there, is that serious?
No, cut your Atmos in, and when you move, put cheap speakers in, you just upgraded the rental.
Yeah, I could say that.
That's what I did.
I could
How
say
long
that.
are you
Well,
going to be there?
Probably at least a year, maybe a year and some number of months until I can find something that I want, until the rates come down and housings aren't crazy. They're
Is
stupid
it a
right
rental
now.
house or an
It
apartment?
is a rental house.
I thought it was a trailer,
Well, it used to be, but I call it a house now because I put 2
Okay.
trailers side by side.
triple
So,
wide.
Yeah, no, double wide. I'm
Double
not living
wide.
triple wide. That's west side. So what
That's
about
absurd,
like
Bobby.
wireless, signal things? I can't even think of it. Wireless transmitters. There we go. Have y'all ever used those like to try to do crazy crap with?
For subwoofers all the time. They were great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think of like for surround speakers and I'm just trying to think like what could you do when you're limited by cutting? You can't cut into the walls, so you just don't do it, right? You don't have any other options.
I did. You saw
Okay.
you've been to my house. I cut the shit out of my ceiling, but I'm just
Well,
gonna put cheap speakers in when I move, and it's an upgrade.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean,
And
Aaron,
I
I've
saved
been
the
in your
drywall.
position. I just ran the wire either around the edge of the room and tucked it between the carpet and molding, or I had another house where I ran it actually straight across the carpet and just put another carpet on top of it, like an area
Yeah.
rug.
Right.
That's the way to do it. Run it
surrounds.
between the baseboard and the tack strip and the carpet, and just mount them on stands for now. If not, I talk about customers about their future goals, longer term, and just prep for that. Because a lot of the time, like a lot of our customers are building homes that take a year or two. Like, what are you doing after the year's up?
I'll probably build. Yeah. So once I get to that point, but I'm thinking for now,
I'd throw a Sonos soundbar in there with a sub and some SLs and call it a day, because then you can throw it in the guest room or anywhere else in the house. Once you finish building and start putting your money and time and effort into planning for the build is what I would recommend.
You're talking to Aaron about putting Sonos in his shit?
No, I know. I'm just saying what I would recommend.
He's not a client, because I do that. I have to do the same thing. I know what you're saying, but damn, dude.
I've heard a couple Sonos soundbars and they weren't bad. I've actually got a JBL 5.1 soundbar thing with it, and the sub one is a 10-inch sub. It's actually a pretty decent sub. I'm kind of impressed by it.
Sonos sub's not a bad sub.
It's not a crazy price point either. I have in my bedroom right now the Sonos Arc 2 SLs in the wall in that enclosure. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, the one you're selling?
That's cool. We're the only distributor for it. I'm sure we got some haters.
As an integrator, I'm looking at that drooling because Kellen was showing me that when he was at the house. That's actually,
you can put the SL and the one speaker inside of the wall, and it's all UL listed up to city code. And if you look at the speaker, like an exploded view of it, it's only firing frontward. It's deceptive the way they have that speaker looking like it's a 360 firing speaker. It's not. And the voice control still works on it. And they have a button they integrated into where it reaches around and hits the sync button on the back. So they really thought of everything.
That's pretty cool.
Zach's like
but I have
those ever.
Those with the Arc, and then 2 subs. And for wireless, it's pretty dang good.
Why would you not put some wall mount speakers up, Aaron?
Yeah, you bottom feeders out there.
Well, yeah, it's just so I could do wall mount speakers. Yeah, I was just trying to think like, what are there any options that I'm not aware of for doing in wall speakers?
Cut the holes and then save the drywall and have it.
Other than I'll do that. Yeah,
it's not a big deal.
I can spray paint black over it and say it's really there, right? Like
or put cheap speakers in and say you upgraded to surround sound.
I'll just put Bose. I'll order Bose stickers on eBay, and I'll put Bose stickers over the speaker grills, and they'll be like, "Oh my God, you did me such a favor," and they'll give me money back.
You get McIntosh stickers.
Just glue the speaker grills on your wall.
Yeah, even better. Yeah, just go buy some like sheet metal or something, and just put some bars over the wall or something. There you go, done.
What's that company that sells the Monolith? I'm having a brain fart.
Monoprice, right?
Monoprice. Yeah, it's buy some of them cheap ass Monoprice speakers.
Hey, man, I had some of those in my old garage, and they were still alive after 10 years, and they were actually pretty good. I mean, for a garage system, it was nice. Nothing was in the way. So
I've yet to hear those things. They look kind of cool. I mean, I know they're cheap and all, but they look kind of cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue on. I mean, this is pretty nice, for the most part.
It's a nice setup. It's hard to really it's really hard to kick this in the teeth. I mean, other than the center and the cabinet. I mean, it's a cool ass room.
It's a great room. I don't like the color. I don't like the color of the room at all. I don't like the sofa. I don't like that huge window on the side either. Beautiful view, because looks like you can go right in your backyard and go skiing, so that's nice. But I don't like the window. Maybe get some shades in there. I don't like that either.
So Zach,
but it's still a nice room, though. I dig it.
And I would have probably put the 300 series or the Utopia angled speakers in above that screen, and just used the square grills on them and angled it down. That might have. I
probably would have just kept it. I would have kept it just like that. Nothing else. That just looks like a nice living room, because it seems like you were reaching a little too hard with all the speakers and all that stuff, and it just didn't really mesh well with the room. So I probably would just keep it like that.
It brings a smile to my face to hear you say that, because I made a video of that right there and said, this is the ultimate WAF setup. And the comments weren't very nice.
Well, because everybody's in denial that their wife carries their balls in their purse.
it's the reality of the situation, guys. Either you get a system and it's you're compromising. I mean, this whole all ultra short throws are a compromise, so you're already compromising. You might as well make the wife happy too. But I did a bunch of different versions of this, and I also addressed in this video the whole center speaker thing and plans for the future.
So manufacturers should make maybe ISO Acoustics or somebody should make a center channel stand specifically for those cabinets and short throw projectors, where it brings the center channel out a little bit and clears the projector. That would actually be cool. Maybe put it a little forward in the cabinet.
Don, have you seen the Aegis cabinets? AEGIS?
Yes.
Those are pretty solid.
Cool. Yeah, they're super solid. Pricey.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you
Salamander cabinets are the bomb.
Great price. I love how modular it is. And they have those panels that literally just pop right in for the AC ventilation in the back, and it has temperature sensors and everything. And it's, again, affordable.
Well,
affordable.
What's that, about a $3,500 cabinet?
38.
Yeah.
38.
I mean, if you consider what a television would cost at that price, you factor in the projector, the cabinet, and the screen, it is affordable.
Dude, you live in a ski resort? What's going on out there?
That's
yeah,
awesome.
I live within 15 minutes of 5 ski resorts.
Oh, Lord, look at that.
I live up in the Rocky Mountains.
Who's got the sweet spot? I only see 2 chairs there.
Yeah, so we have the couch stacked in this room over here because this has turned into my studio, more of a workspace. So like we drag out the chairs on the weekend, and it's nice because this room just gets exploded with a million toys everywhere. My kid just runs laps around the room, so it works.
I get it. I like there. This is a nice room though. It's a nice room. I don't think it's a theater, but it's a nice room though.
I mean, you take the whole room into consideration with that, it's pretty damn cool. I can't really knock it much.
The SI Nano shades actually do help with the acoustics a bit. When I drop them down, I can tell a difference because they're fabric.
As far as
they're fabric blackout shades.
Yeah, SI is a solid company.
They've killed it in shades. They're more of a shade company these days than a screen company.
Yeah, we do hundreds of them, dude. For people that can't afford Lutron.
We have this guy. He sent in his video. I want to say like 2 months ago, maybe a month ago. His name is Cherio311. I think he's up in the chat. He was here a little bit earlier. Oh shit, that's loud. Let me just mute that. But this should be interesting. I have not seen this video. I've been sitting on it for a while. But we can already tell it's already in his basement. I can tell.
Yeah. He's got acoustic treatment at least this time.
I like the DeLorean.
Yeah, at least somebody's doing it right? He's got acoustic treatment.
Damn, he's got more toe than Kim Kardashian on that.
Oh my God, he does.
Come on,
I was going to say, he needs to be sitting about 3 foot away.
Exactly. Easy on the toe there, brother. He's got all
the beige furniture.
Nice little entertainment pole in the center there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or it's a firehouse.
Yes, solid.
Well, there's Aaron, you were asking about what to do with your cables on the ground. This is clearly what you have to do.
Yeah,
there.
Right. Yeah, it's just a skinny anaconda.
At least he got his subs on the outside, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna speak. Oh, he's got a Rendell speakers. All right. Well, he got something nice there.
That's
I
cool.
like Luke in the
Yeah,
corner.
good speakers for the money.
Yeah, very good. I mean, I probably wouldn't
Is that
put
like Wolverine on the
cardboard
wall?
cutout of Luke Skywalker there, but you got Wolverine.
PS5.
Homemade acoustic treatment.
PS5.
Oh, I like the
You got the
stand
movie-
there.
Go
Movie
back. Let me see
posters
that
in the
stand.
home theater. I get that. Yep. See, real movie theaters don't have
Exactly.
murals and movie posters in them, so that's one of my pet peeves. That's a bad look if you ask me, but whatever.
It's a
Whatever,
legit
William.
mural on the wall. Sick.
You got a mini DSP. What's he got there? An Onkyo?
Looks like it.
Looks like an Onkyo, yeah. Was that a PS what? Oh, PS4? 5? So with this editing.
Oh, Switch.
Yeah.
Got a Rendell, yeah. I mean, the room color
I
sucks
see a
very much like
blemish.
that last home theater we reviewed. Just checked out also with the beige. Not a big fan of that.
Is
Also
this
not
the
a big fan
brand
of glossy
Woody's doing,
speakers.
Kellen?
Do what?
Those are Sonance and ceilings.
Is this the brand that Woody's doing?
Yeah, doing the
he's
Rendels.
doing some stuff for him.
Yeah.
Monolith. Would you not go with your...
They're a direct to consumer. They
They make
won't
good
do
stuff.
any distribution.
Yeah, the Rendell?
Yeah.
Why would you not match? I would have probably just matched the Rendell subs with the Monolith instead of going Monolith, personally.
Man.
The Monolith, that particular sub's got a bit more output than anything that Arundel has. But I actually happen to think the Arundel subs sound a little better.
Possible
You cut
the
corners.
same designer there, Matt?
What'd you say?
Possibly
You're not
the
allowed to
same
say.
designer for the sub?
Yes, it is. I
Okay.
couldn't hear you at first, but yeah, it is the same designer.
Yeah. Okay.
Wire
We're not
management.
supposed to say that.
I believe, I'm probably going to get killed for this later. I believe the designer would agree with that comment I made too, that the Arendel's the better
Well,
sounding.
he
of the
designed
two.
both, didn't he?
Yeah, but one was designed to optimize for output. The other was designed more for a better balance of sound quality.
That makes sense.
For budget.
I mean, I don't remember the price of that particular monolith, but I think they're not that different in price.
I think it's like 16, right? $15.99.
For that monolith.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little mistake. You go with some nice quality Rendell sub or speakers, then you step down and go down to Monolith. That's kind of like, listen, you're stepping down, but you really want to enjoy your bass. Match the bass quality with your speaker quality, or else you're just cheaping out. Like, why even do that? Let's sell those, get the Rendell subs, or get something better. That's what I think. Stop being cheap. Don't be cheap. Paint your room black as well. Don't be like Zach. Paint your room black. The gray carpet's fine. I like the gray carpet. That's fine.
Was that a ViewSonic projector? Is that what that said?
Oof.
Just sell all your speakers. Just buy a projector first, then come back around, get some better speakers. You're messing up here at Terrell 311. Look at those black levels. What are those grays? Is that gray level?
They're grayish.
It's pretty harsh. I
Well,
actually
those
advise people to
projectors
invest
are
in
not great.
speakers before
What's that?
projection. I actually advise people to invest in speakers before projection, just because it's a better long-term investment. Video technology changes so rapidly, if we're being honest. But I think you were
It does,
just
but
I'd agree with
those
that.
those
100%.
ViewSonic DLP projectors are not great.
well, obviously.
No.
But hey, now he has something to upgrade.
Yeah.
Control
Yeah,
system,
I
baby.
can see that. Well, clearly he's not a video file, so. Oh, he's got a
Corduroy.
little sectional in there too.
Corduroy.
What's up with that?
Yeah.
I had some pants made out of those
Got a couch
once.
similar.
Caught
He's
fire. when I
got
was
a
running.
bar row behind his couch.
Yeah, borrow back there. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, I like it. I still don't like
Regular
movie
Coke
posters in there.
Coke Zero.
Don't give up the ship. He's got another poster ready to be hung back there. The Predator.
Predator. Yeah.
Oh, we got some frequency response here. Look at that. Looking good.
Hey,
Whoa.
could be bright.
Some-
What's the scale?
Some monolith quality.
I think without seeing more measurements at more seating positions, that doesn't tell us a lot. It's not hard to EQ a system flat, but that doesn't tell you what the system's
Well,
really
and
doing.
you don't want it flat in room, right? So
No, yeah, you wouldn't want a flattened room. The scaling of that measurement looked like it was designed to minimize peaks and dips.
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking.
He's hitting 111 dB.
1,119.
Yes,
140,
that was the
145
SPL
dB.
21 gigawatts.
121 gigawatts.
Well, there's the overview. What do you guys think about that? Aside from the, You know,
I
the
mean,
color
I
of the
think
theater, maybe the cheap projector. I don't really like the monolith sub. Maybe get a better subwoofer. I like the size of the screen. Get rid of the cardboard cutout of Luke. They
It
put him in
does
the
have that same
closet.
toad in just
The toe.
Well, I
is
think so. I think the
always-
toe in is he's trying to do a cross-firing approach.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, the directivity of those speakers might support that. Okay.
I feel like I want to drink Natty Ice and watch a movie in there. Maybe Joe Dirt.
Yeah, I mean,
Your take.
personally, I would like to see an acoustically transparent screen in here and have the center channel behind the screen. I think having it that low
Yeah.
on the ground, you're getting a lot of strong reflections off the floor there, which isn't ideal.
Mhm.
And
He's got space.
my experience has always been when you have a system set up like that, it sounds like the voices are coming from the floor. So I
Mhm.
like to get the center channel up off the floor. Obviously, getting just another tower, for instance, would give better sound than that center channel. It's not a bad center channel, and with a TV, it's great, but this is a projection system, so
Mhm.
there's the option to do that. The diffusers he's got are like a standard QRD style, so it's a good diffuser design. But when you sit too close to when they're that deep and you sit too close to them, they can be a little phasey. So I don't typically recommend using those on the sides right next to your head like he's got. So not the front ones; those are fine. But he's got some that looks like they're right in line with the couch. So I wouldn't typically do that. I'd use a different diffuser that has a better. There's like a far field to near field distance on a diffuser too. Those don't have a great one. It can be like a couple meters on those.
Hmm. There you go.
You see,
Any
you put
other
away
words of wisdom
bomb.
there, Aaron? What you got?
No, I like the couch.
You like that couch?
This is your
I dig the couch. Yeah, I mean, that is my couch.
That is your couch. We may have different taste.
You couldn't scratch your butt on that couch, though. You start a fire, man. Corduroy's like that.
Shit, you have your teenage kids hang out and get high and eat potato chips on it. They're fine.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
I guess
totally
so.
that 70s show couch right there.
Exactly.
I think that's it. Overall, though, listen, we're just kind of messing
Yeah,
around
we're
with you
jazzing.
there.
Cool
311. We're just having fun. It's a nice room for the
Cool
for
room.
the space. Everything looks
It is.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah, I think you
Not
did
to
a
my
great
taste.
job.
Like I would have did totally the opposite of what you did, but it's still a nice space for what you did. Oh, look at that! Look who's next.
Uh-oh.
You.
Gotta love YouTube.
That looks like that Chris dude. I can't think of his name. Not Evans. Guardians of the Galaxy. Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
No. Yeah. Kind of looks like
Pratt.
Chris Pratt for a second.
You said
Yeah,
you
like
just
Chris
giving-
Pratt
Is that a
being
compliment?
sick.
Just a little bit. Hey man, Chris
Mm.
Pratt's a handsome looking guy.
Looking
Just saying.
sexy there, Zach.
You're in the Rocky Mountains. You got to stay warm. You can cuddle. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
man. I'm not trying to make it
I like
weird.
to
I'm
cuddle.
just saying. Yeah.
Oh, you always make it weird, Aaron.
Where is
Hey,
this
I
live
can't
stream
help
going?
Oh gosh.
Get those. God.
This is some photos here. I don't know what his
off
name
the
is. Tyler, I
wall.
think his name is.
Flip
So-
off the subs.
So both of these theaters, right? That is the reason I said screw it and just went for it and did my room. And that's got to be what the takeaway from today is. Look, just go for it. The room's may not be ideal, but like up here in Colorado where I live, theaters aren't big, and unless you're in the 5 million plus range for a home.
Clearly, your
So-
house then is what?
Well, I don't have
Theaters
that.
went out of vogue with builders for a long time.
What I'm saying is the average person doesn't have a perfect room for a theater room. So
That's true.
I was waiting to get the perfect theater room so I could build the perfect room to show our audience, look, I'm the owner of Dream Media. I have the perfect room. But I was like, that's not reality. Let's just show them what you can do, how you can work through problems and make the best of it. So I'm excited to see this one. This is very
So-
comparable
Okay,
to
well-
the man cave makeover that we're doing right now.
Tyler,
He's here. He's here.
Get
Tyler
those
Walters.
speakers off the side walls, man. You're just reflecting.
Mm,
I mean,
yeah.
you're just bouncing right off
least-
of them. Plus, with two
at least
subs
tone
that
them a
close
little bit.
together, you're not getting multi-sub effect.
Yeah.
When you
Are
do
those
it
the
without
SBS
two
Ultras?
flip-flop,
Yeah, it looks like they're
They look
SBS for
like-
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those things.
dude,
breathe.
you don't want to get roaches in a home theater. Get the Wheaties box out of there. That's a bad look right there. Like, where's the milk?
man,
at?
that's
You keep that behind the
nostalgia.
couch. Oh yeah, he's got obviously this drop down screen on the top.
Yep.
So he must have a projector in there.
Got no
He's got
attic to hide those wires.
yeah, get some. Well, I see he's got some stuff here in the corners. He's got the little tracks.
Looks like some
So
wire
at least he's
molding
doing
or
that
something
right.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, that,
what
except for
that
this
is?
guy there, upper
Hide the
little
wires.
cord to the projector. Clearly this is like a spare bedroom. He's got a window behind it. You know, the sports post. Sports fan. I don't like the
Can
whole
you move
sports
the sub
motif
to
here.
a different part of the room, and maybe tell those speakers down a little
It's a
bit.
man cave. It's
Yeah,
not a theater.
told us in.
Give it a break.
Well, he's calling it a home theater. If you call it home theater,
This is roast my theater. This isn't.
if he says my man cave, okay, that's how we're gonna judge it. But this is send me your home theater.
Yeah.
So we got to judge it as a home theater.
That is his home theater. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his home theater, but it's not really.
Just
home
when
theater.
you
He's got,
put
like, weed.
speakers close to a wall like that, it dramatically affects the sound quality.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Dramatically.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, tell him in at least. Come on.
get-
What about
like-
the two height
like
speakers?
hand- sound really
Cupping them
big.
on your,
Those height
You
speakers
get
seem awfully close together.
Crazy reverb off the wall there. And I think those are
Crazy.
the ultras, which those things need to breathe. So there's no
Yeah.
way you're even getting close to maximizing the potential
like a
of those.
fine wine.
And when you drop that screen down, is that an acoustic screen or not? Because those elevations are going to bounce right off the back of that.
We don't know.
Mhm.
The
Is
guy
this
who
just-
said it's his theater. Is he on?
Yeah, he's right here. It's a bachelor pad.
All right, dude. Is that an AT screen
Okay.
or not?
You can't spread the subs because of the projector screen.
So it's not acoustically transparent because the towers would be shining into the back of the screen.
Can the screen even come down all the way?
That would
He
be
said he
really.
couldn't move them because of that. Get a
seems like
motorized
Those height
AT.
speakers aren't really doing any
AT
good if that's
screen.
not an AT screen.
Yeah, it's a bad look there, Tyler.
There's no way that'll
Doing
broadcast a 16:9 image. He might just be running a cinescope.
Maybe.
235?
Well, no, it said,
Maybe it's got a
So-
really large drop on it.
says it blocks the Atmos, so it's not acoustically transparent. Next screen, because he's got a Sony, what was that, 325 ES?
With 295 or 395 is what it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, for the
Yeah,
generation,
as
it's not a
Is that a
bad.
TV in that? Did your grandpa
No,
give you that when he passed?
no, that's not a TV. That's a projector, two speakers.
No,
Turntable. Not a projector, a turntable.
he's saying it is one of those consoles though. It's a 4x3 aspect like tube TV.
Yeah,
console,
yeah.
is what it looks
I
like.
see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, look at the Nintendo box, the old Nintendo he's got, the Super Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that's all
I mean,
cool.
Mario
cool, man.
Monopoly.
I dig that.
He's got a lot of man
He's got a
cave
little-
stuff
No
there.
wonder
I
you're a bachelor.
think
Yeah.
this was missubmitted. This is a man cave.
Tyler, put it in the title next time. Man cave, not home theater.
Yeah.
You got the Smithsonian of video game consoles back there. Okay, appreciate
like
that,
it.
but not for home theater. Put that in the kitchen or something. Not in the home theater. Put it in the kitchen with your Wheaties boxes.
If those two speakers there are the rear surrounds, I'd say those are a little close together.
I'm
Are
guessing
there
they
rear
belong straight
surrounds
to the
there?
turntable.
Oh,
Oh, I didn't even see that.
I didn't see those. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they match
that's
the
not good.
distance between his front Atmos.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, you really need some separation.
Dude, are those
there.
speakers firing straight into the back of the couch?
Actually, kind of cool. That's
Hold on,
acoustic
maybe that's his-
properties of that.
That's his turntable speakers.
Right.
The
you
turntables
could
are
be
all the
right,
same.
but then what's his
Okay.
surround speakers? What's the rest of the surround?
He's got a switch.
Let's see
They
what
do
happens.
both.
You got wire loom everywhere.
Oh,
so,
here we
you know.
go. All right, so he's got some side
Uh-huh.
surrounds there.
Yeah,
That
I'm
movie
assuming there's
just
another
came
one on
out.
the opposite side.
How are you going to have a poster dedicated to a movie that just came out? People haven't decided if it's good or not. You gotta give it time.
I thought it was
man.
actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty
maybe
good.
he
I seen
changes it regularly.
Maybe that's like
Yeah.
a display or something.
Oh,
Is
TV.
that an
Is that a
ashtray
TV?
on the right?
Kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
What is that?
What is that?
It looks
Might
like
be
a
an air
wheel from like
purifier.
It looks like a wheel from a lawnmower on the top. I can't tell.
That's what it is.
I
actually
bet he
a
lives
stack
next
of
door to
wheels.
me. Yeah, that's what it is.
You're a bachelor. What do girls think when they see that shit?
He's single. You're single, aren't you, Tyler?
Yeah.
You got some Funko Pops. You got some toys over here. All right.
Single moms are
appreciate
like, my
that.
kid's gonna love you.
Oh, maybe he's
a-
a child. He lives downstairs and his mom's upstairs.
Dude, I can't say shit. I'm a total nerd. I got shit everywhere. So.
Yeah, you do.
Do you have
Oh, he's
toys
got a
you
glow
can't take out of
box.
the box too?
Okay.
Yeah, 40-year-old version. Can't take those out of the box. They're worth money.
All right, the equipment
Hey,
rack.
I
there
think
we
the
go.
Iron Man helmet.
Yeah, is that one of those
What
automatic
Marantz is
opening
that?
ones there, Tyler?
Oh yeah.
Got the MR 4300, maybe a
Dynamite stuff's cool.
5400.
Mm-hmm.
Aircom, Marantz, Monolith.
Is that a cable box on top? You still rocking cable?
No, that's a Zidu media player.
Yeah.
The what?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
That's a Z9X or X9 something or another.
Oh, okay.
Orbi, you got an Orbi Wi-Fi.
I'm just going
The
to guess this
Marantz.
guy has a picture of himself wearing only that helmet and that helmet only. Like, I'm just guessing.
Hey, keep your fantasies to yourself.
I don't
That's
want
his
to see
Tinder
that.
profile. He says it opens and is wearable. So again, I'm going to bet money on that.
You guys can see comments. Where do you see the comments?
On the
Over on
YouTube.
On the right where
right
it
side
says
of the screen.
comment.
Yeah, or if you
On
pull up
deck.
YouTube, you can reply to them there. If you pull up YouTube and do the pop out comments thing, you can do it that way, and then close the video out.
Oh, I see. You guys are like in another tab.
It's in the same tab.
Yeah.
It's just over to the right there.
Uh-oh.
I dig he's
Ah.
So, do you
Oh,
own your
there
own
we
or
go.
do you
Aaron, he's
use
offering
that?
you a picture.
I see that. Yeah, I'll tell you real fast. It's
send your
Gotta love the internet.
there you go, man.
send your pics with you only wearing one item of clothing to Aaron.
I'm going to use that as my Tinder profile.
Helmet preferred, apparently.
Helmet
You
preferred.
better take that Tinder down. I met your girlfriend. She got-
Oh,
she got
yeah,
mad.
I'm just kidding. I don't even have a Tinder profile.
Mm.
I'd be scared to get on there, man.
Tender.
Get on there. Get
Be
to
scared.
it.
So what's
he's
that on
got a
top of
Santa's
the,
rack.
yeah,
What
what
are
is
those
this, an
for
Orbi?
subs? Are those SPS subs too?
That's a Eero.
Euro? Okay, Euro.
Yeah, Pro.
It's Wi-Fi.
You got one of
Those
those
actually work
Aircom,
really
is that what it's
well.
called? Aircom air controller thing. Is that what it's called?
That's just pulling the air off his Marantz.
Hmm.
But it's blocked by the Panamax. I don't know how good that's doing.
Well, yeah, come on, Tyler. Why would you go with the monolith amp? Why don't you go with the Marantz amp?
He's got a plate between it for
It looks
some
like an
Yeah, you
shade.
should've gone with
ATI.
the
No,
original
oh, it's
amp.
monolith. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Still
with the
ATI, I
monolith.
guess. It's not a bad amp.
Yeah.
I think it's better than the Marantz app, actually.
Oh yeah, you think so? I'm sure it sounds better than the Marantz amp. I'm not a big fan of the Marantz. Marantz sound.
What
It's a little-
AVR do you
it's a
like,
little
Shane?
dull.
I haven't even. What's the last one I reviewed? The Sony one. The Sony one is actually pretty good sounding. I sold on my Emotiva gear to keep the Sony.
Sounded good when you used
Actually.
your TV as the speakers.
Yes, indeed. Listen, my living room system is not audiophile. It's just casual. I would not call it a home theater, Zachary. I would just call it my living room system.
I'm playing with that Sony
Zachary.
right now. It's actually got some pretty
Zachary.
cool features.
It does, right? It does.
It does. I'm actually impressed with some of the features they have in there.
What subs are
Like
those?
what?
SPS subs? I can't tell.
Yeah, they look
Yeah,
like.
it's-
Probably.
they look good. Yeah, I can see the grills.
How you get lights on them?
He probably got LEDs under his seats,
Okay,
like Zach
I
does
see.
on his TV console. All right, dig it.
Your
All right.
comment about
I mean,
Sony
it's
or-
not. It's,
what features do you like? Sorry, I'm getting little off topic. I'm just curious to pick y'all's brains while I got you on here. Because I'm
What's
going to
that?
get one here in the house and I want to compare it next to the Marantz. We're not huge Sony fans here at Dream Media, but we are going to, obviously check it out. Which model did you have? The 5000 or the 6000?
You talking about the
7,000.
receiver? The 7000.
Yeah, the 7000. What features did you like about it?
Well, it's got a feature. So it's got a dual center channel feature. It's not just paralleling them.
Oh.
It's actually processing it so that you can use it with really large screens like 85-inch or 100-inch, get better center image. It's got some it's got the Reality 360 system, and it's sort of an evolution of what they had been offering before. So I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but the sales pitch is interesting. So I'm kind of curious what that sounds like. It's got a pretty serious power supply in it. It does have new room correction. I've never liked the room correction in the past, so I'm very curious if it actually works. But if you go through again their description of what it's doing, it sounds pretty compelling.
When Sony wants to do audio well, Sony has always traditionally done audio well. Just a matter of their commitment to it. But some of the best audio pieces that are coveted out there are old Sony pieces. So
yeah, I'll be bench testing the amp pretty soon too. So we'll see how it does power wise.
Get the speakers off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you guys aren't carrying Sony, right?
To put those in speakers in a corner like that's usually not great. I mean, there are some speakers that can work like that. But
what's that? Is that a VHS like table? Is those VHS boxes on the top? Because that's awesome if it is, dude. Especially
clever.
If that's like lacquered or
I think you're
epoxy
right.
on top.
Yeah,
you're right. It is actually
zoom in on that.
So that's the bar row, huh?
Yeah. Okay.
Dude,
let's look over
that's
that.
It's got to be DVDs. I don't remember Scream 3 ever being on VHS.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Tyler.
Yes.
Tyler. This is Tyler's theater again. He's got a second one.
Okay.
Move the mains in and move the subs to the corner.
Hey, he said VHS.
Yeah.
Substantial difference
Handmade.
in sound quality.
Dude, that's legit.
Unless it's really a shallow room, maybe just
Tyler says it's a VHS table though. That is VHS. So Scream 3 apparently was released on VHS at some point.
I see, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Harry Potter,
Batman Forever. Yeah. You need Tango and Cash in there.
For the old dudes, like some of us old dudes, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Need some kind of blockbuster sign in there.
Sell the table and get better subs.
Oh, wow.
Savage.
No, I'm just
Yeah, those things
What
are cute.
subs are
They'd be
those?
better in the corner.
Things are cute.
So he's got the RF.
I like
RF
the
whatever.
table. I can't knock it. That table's cool.
What subs are those?
Probably
Look like SB3000s, yeah.
No.
It looked too.
Really?
Oh,
Maybe
SB2000.
Maybe.
1000s.
They're
1000s maybe.
Very deep.
Guarantee if you move those mains closer to the screen and put the subs in the corner and recalibrate it, you'll see a huge increase.
A lot of people like to put subs like that. If you get it right in the 1/4 in on each side, you hit a pressure minimum, and you can sometimes avoid activating one of the width modes, but there are various other width modes too you still activate. But you get no like real gain from that. If you put it in the corners, you actually get a bit more gain, and you can get you got to EQ, but once you get the EQing in there, you can overall get a little bit better performance out of that and a little bit lower end extension. So usually that's my preference over trying to stick it in the 1/4 point. And I'm not sure, that doesn't look like the 1/4 point. That looks like the 1/3 point. So you're probably activating your width modes anyway.
Are they getting any multi-sub benefit from that, Matt? That close together?
I mean, if you have any spacing, it's just not working as well as it would have. I mean, having them only in the front anyway isn't that great for that multi-sub. You're getting some benefit. It's a little bit smoother, but you'd actually, if you have only 2 subs and you're trying to maximize the kind of multi-sub benefit, the better way to do it actually be one in the middle in the front there and one in the back in the middle, or the side walls, one in the middle sidewall on the left, one in the middle sidewall on the right. Corners is actually not the best placement for that particular purpose. You're better off with at least 3 subs if you're trying to do that. Put the 3rd one in the back of the room.
This doesn't look as cool
as the first one. This is in his parents' home, Tyler's parents' home.
What? That's his parents.
This is Tyler's parents' house.
Oh.
So we're roasting his parents' system, or he lives with his parents?
Or he did.
Well, I mean, look around. Is his dad in the anime? Sci-fi?
Could be.
He has some toys in there. Yeah, okay.
Another grayish room.
Maybe a couple more acoustic treatments flanking the screen.
That's why he doesn't have a sub at the back of the room. These basements are
There's no
tough.
back. Yeah.
These open
behind
concept.
that far left.
Even if
seat,
you put it on the side wall towards the back, that still has some benefit. Still
behind that far left seat.
Can you put it to the side of the table there?
Yeah, or
I mean,
just
the other
put
thing
it
I
up
was
against the
mentioning-
wall.
He's
Like
got
if
the
it-
actual tapes of the VHS
Is that what's
tapes
the
made out
laser
of
made of
legs.
tapes?
Is that what that is?
That's pretty
It
cool.
looks like the middle sticker in
Oh,
between
yeah.
the two reels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that, very creative.
Oh,
Love
Nice
the table.
job, there, buddy.
Even more.
Good job,
Pretty
Connor.
He's saying he built this one for his parents, which to me explains why he went with Klipsch, because everybody knows.
Yeah,
that
you don't
Klipsch is
love your
acoustic.
dad.
So his dad probably is losing his hearing, so he's just making up for it with the Klipsch.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Dare
Savage.
you say that?
Dude,
Savage.
that's
You've
completely
seen the
objective. That's not
high-frequency
even an
response on
opinion.
Klipsch.
Yeah.
But I had clips in college.
Yeah. That's probably why you can't hear anymore either. He'd no reply because he didn't hear me.
Well, don't say that. Andrew Robinson loves clips.
Okay.
I mean, that tells us everything we need to know
I
about
just said
both
okay.
Klipsch and Andrew Robinson.
Wow.
I
don't
just
know
like
comment on that
roasting on Klipsch. Actually, some Klipsch I've played around with aren't too bad, but some of them are just not
You
good.
got some space.
oh, here we go.
Put some back
We
there.
got another angle.
Oh, that's cool.
I see.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah.
Klipsch tower in one time for review that actually measured better than I expected. Like I expected to hate
Yeah.
these; they were going to be super bright.
They're new.
They were
new
better than
speakers
I
measure
thought.
well.
Yeah. Yeah, and they actually work better if you put them against a wall because there's a little bit of a I don't call it baffle step, but Matt, you know what I'm talking about when they design
Yeah,
them to
you-
be near
you
a
get
wall,
some-
kind of like a trough on the lower end to
Yeah,
allow
yeah.
some reinforcements, you know.
Did you say build a trough?
Yeah, that's what you do. No,
Build a
Like
trough.
lower-
and
like the-
you get better
like-
sound out of the Klipsch that way.
right?
That's
Yeah, exactly.
Alabama
Just
speak.
yeah, exactly. Pig trough. That's what. That's
You're
what
down in
do.
the holler, give Bidgie a trough.
You
man,
take
and then
you
they'll
take the
do
drivers
it.
out, you put the slop in there, and you make a pig trough out of them.
And then you put them back in and then sell it.
Yeah, you sell them on the eBays.
None
Yeah,
of you.
because their metallic drivers are sexy.
I do like the look of their drivers. Not gonna lie.
I do
Could he
too.
put? He should put more subs back
Once you
here.
see-
I don't have issues.
Get
with
rid of
the
this. Get rid of this little fella here. Put your sub back there.
That's a diffuser. That's the M&M
Peanut
diffuser
M&M.
right there.
Put one
Add some
sub in
extra
that back
diffraction to
corner.
the speaker.
Yeah, definitely move one of the subs to that back corner and move the other one to the opposing corner. It'll
Mhm.
sound much better.
It is
That's
a
good.
I don't know.
exactly. That is a better approach.
Much better.
What's up
Corners,
with the? This is
the
the
corners
third.
will give you some gain.
It just looks
This is the
cooler
third-
to put two subs like that. I mean, everybody does it. It's just not ideal.
It looks cool in pictures, I guess. Everybody gets manipulated by photos.
Yeah.
Symmetrical.
Third room in a row with that's beige. Zach, you done started something here.
Well, he
You
said
everybody
something
paint
about
it
it still
beige.
needs painting, so maybe they're going to paint it a nice,
In a world
nice
gone
dark
beige.
beige.
These are the these. So those are the latest Klipsch premieres. All speakers
Yeah.
are actually placed
The
based
Klipsch
off of
reference-
audio
That makes
advice.
sense. Those
Based
do
on-
better placed near a wall.
Zach, how do you feel about that? They're based off of audio advice's advice. What's the Dream Media advice?
I already said, we would recommend moving the speakers in and putting the subs in opposing corners. Put it in the front right of the corner of the room, one sub, and put the other one in the rear left.
Or add a third
Tyler,
sub.
you were shopping
Yeah.
at the wrong. You were shopping at the wrong place there, Tyler.
Well, I
We
think when
turn
he
those
says
right now.
based on audio,
the
advice,
audio advice
it might have
guys
been
are
their
sharp.
online calculator that did it, but there's usually a range of angles. And I'll just say this: generally you don't want to be placing speakers too close to sidewalls like that because you're getting a really strong reflection off that sidewall. So if you can move them in, even if it reduces your the angles between 22 and 30 degrees between center and left or right. So like even if you have to go to 22 instead of 30, that's better than sticking them right up against the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, go back to the front wall again. You can tow them in too. That would help.
Yeah.
What do you have? The 8000 Fs and the 504C is what it looks like.
Probably. Those look like the larger ones.
If they're the reference premiere.
Yeah.
7,000.
Probably the twos, I'm guessing, right? He said the
You go
latest
back,
versions.
Shane. Yeah, the reference premiere 8000. I mean, good speakers for what they are. 8000F and the 504C. I've done them in a ton of theaters.
You want to hold on? A little side note. This is what we get. This is what me and Don, probably Matt too. We get this all the time.
Oh, yeah. It
What is it?
really turns me on. Actually.
He looks angry.
Gene sounding the lunk alarm at Planet
Gargamel.
Yeah, last time he sent me a picture like that, I gave him like a mustache and
Matt, you should reply back with your own.
My own, yeah, these big
Yeah.
guns.
Just like, well, reply with whatever you want, but it needs to be some kind of picture.
Kind of
Maybe he'll stop.
homoerotic, really.
Yeah, he'll stop.
Oh man.
It's
So
all right.
all right. So I guess
I got Gene eating edibles and drinking, so my work here is done.
so this room's gonna be painted, probably black. They're gonna get 2 more subwoofers, Tyler. Very nice.
I
You
can
still got the movie
guarantee you
posters
they're
in the
not
room.
going to paint it black.
You don't think so?
No.
Not
Not
unless I
white.
see a red
They can
door.
paint it white.
Neon green. It's a better color.
I would say
You know
so.
how hard it is to
Um,
put black paint on a wall?
Yes, I do,
Oh.
because I have a black theater. And we have to
I have a black
repaint it.
theater too. Don't touch it with dry hands.
Yeah,
Like, can you walk on Matt's
Um,
floor in a theater? It's all squishy.
it is squishy.
Yeah. I'll dig
Do you
it.
have like that playground material or something in there?
Me, yeah.
Dude, his door weighs like 600 pounds.
For real. Is
Seriously.
yours,
all
is
about
yours a
that.
room within a room? Is that right?
Yeah, it's a room
Okay.
within a room, and then the floor is decoupled, so it's up on these silicone spring isolators, and it's actually about 2 inches between the actual subfloor and then the floor you step on. There's about a 2-inch air gap with insulation and those isolators, and so when you walk on it, there's some give to it. Like
Yeah. That's
you know,
kind of cool.
you can tell it's not a normal floor.
Have you done a
You have
video
a-
on
you
that?
have subwoofers?
Springs and gymnastics in there.
It's like a max headroom 80s floor in there.
It's like a wrestling mat. You can just slam people on it.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's
Have
what
you
you have.
done a
That's pretty
video
much
on that build out?
No,
We're going to.
I mean, I've done little things. There's if you go to my channel, you can see little videos of pieces of the build out, but in front of like a full complete thing, that'll come in the future. It's just taken forever to get the thing done. I mean, they were here today. We finally got the Trinnov up and running, and the speakers going. So
Nice.
we're getting
You
closer.
went to
Closer.
16 or 32?
I got the 16. I can't afford a
16.
32.
Yes, you can.
I kind of
What part of the
16.
States do you live in?
Yeah, well, you kind of
I
ruined
live in
it for
Florida.
everybody, Shane, with your bullshit. So nobody's getting
Yes.
turned off. You know,
Yes.
it's like you're that home theater dude or something.
What? Who?
Ooh.
What are you talking about?
I'll
But,
tell you later.
okay, back to his home theater. He's got a 6050 UB. Really nice projector. I dig it.
Very nice.
Matches the decor. It's white. Matches his light
nice.
colored theater.
That's a
Yeah, that
home
probably
cinema.
suggests that room's not getting painted black then, right? Because white projector with a
Mm.
black room.
Are
No,
those the
he
seats
just needs
you had?
to
Shane?
upgrade to the LS 12,000.
What are those
That's-
seats?
Do
under
it.
Those seats. That's one.
home
Sell
cinema.
that. Tyler, why don't you sell that back to Audio Bad Advice and go get yourself an LS 1200 1000 from Dream Media? I think that's a good way to go. It's black. It's gonna match your parents' soon to be black home theater as well. I think that's a good look
Yeah,
right
that-
there, Tyler.
That would be a good move.
I'll get you a Sony 5000.
Oh, we got competing dealers. I forgot.
I do that.
What's your best price, Don? What's your best price?
I only sell to my
Right
clients.
here,
Come on.
50, 55,
Come on.
55,
What's your
55.
best price? Come on. No,
You guys
who
are the
asked-
king of
who
discount. What are you
asked,
talking about?
who asked what Valencia is the seating? Those
Valencia.
are Valencia Tuscanies.
Yeah. How do you feel about those Valencia seats, by the way?
They'll be destroyed in 2 years.
They're not
Kellen's
cheap,
had
though,
his
are
in
they?
his theater for a while.
Yeah, I was gonna
Have
say
you
they're
ever
not
had-
bad. They're not bad. I like them.
I'm just a snob. Sorry.
You
Yeah,
are.
not-
Sound
I
man.
mean, they're not
Oh.
elite seats. I understand. Elite
Yeah.
theater seats are better quality, but
Well,
they're also
yeah,
a lot
I
more
mean,
expensive.
They're reasonable in price.
Well,
Have
I've
you had
sold
bad
theater seats for
experience
like
with them?
25 years, and almost every time I've sold cheap seats, they just get destroyed. So
Yeah.
maybe these are better.
Do you know
Right.
Jay Miller?
I think the problem with the expensive seats, a lot of people just can't afford them. Like it's not even
Yeah.
something to aspire to. They're
ridiculous.
just
Yeah,
too
some of
much.
them.
Yeah. So when
That's
you're looking at normal seats that cost maybe $1,000 to $1,500, maybe up to
the
$2,000, but
elites
then
are
you look
$5,000
into
to
elite.
$7,000 a
Exactly.
seat.
I mean, it's not a small difference in price to get.
No,
into
but
a
they're
good higher chair.
dope. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't disagree.
yeah. The quality
Yeah,
in leather
when
is
you're-
different.
nah, the Valencia makes a good product for the money.
Yeah, Valencia actually
Yeah,
started
pretty
offering semi-aniline leather, so they do have a higher quality now.
Mhm.
And
Is that what you got, Matt? The higher
No.
quality one?
Well, I don't have leather, so I have the Naples, which is a velvet.
Ooh, how do you like those?
Sexier.
I saw those. Yeah, I was gonna say
is that,
they do look
velvet?
pretty classy.
They're pretty classy. Yeah, I think the theater's going to look good when it's done. It's black. It's not real, but it's black marble look floors, black walls with like a big bright picture panel, and then a bunch of black suede panels, and then I've got walnut wood slat panels from Art Novian going in around different parts of it, and then those Naples seats. I think it's going to be kind of a classy.
What projector are you running?
It's a JVC. I forget the exact model. It's actually from the last generation, not the current one. Gotcha. I'll probably upgrade at some point, but
It's fine.
spent enough money and all the rest of this. I need to wait a little bit before I go.
I'm with Zach. I think the audio is way more important than the projector, honestly, because they change so much.
If you're looking long term, you know, a lot of our customers will go, say you got a $50,000 budget, you know, they'll put majority of that into the audio and maybe go with like an E-Shift Epson projector, even though, you know, it's not the best of the best. They're just not.
It looks
you know,
good.
Technology changes so quick, you know, like this is their home cinema line. All the white ones are home. So this is either like an old 5040 or 5050 or this year's laser models, the LS 11000. What we sell the most here at Dream Media is the Pro cinema line, which is black and comes with the mount, and the previous generations came with the extra bulb too, which was nice, but now you don't have to worry about that with laser.
Yeah, 20,000 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I think those Epson projectors look really good for the money. I mean, they're hard to beat.
They do. Yeah, they're super
better
bright.
Option than the ViewSonic.
Yeah, it's not true 4K, so
everybody's got a budget, you know, and you want to get the whole room done. So it's like you got to compromise somewhere, unless you got $500,000 to play with.
Yeah. I mean, I generally agree with you, but I do think there's some people where they're actually not as into sound and they're more into video. And then like when you can tell that that's where they're at, I think they're the opposite. There's somebody who maybe needs to spend the money on the video side. And I mean, this is not projector, but I worked on a very high end system where the guy wanted this crazy video wall, 200 inches, micro LED. He was spending, I don't know, $350,000, I think, on the screen part of it. And we were talking about speakers. I was trying to talk him into like a decent speaker system. We were talking about doing possibly the reflex system, something like that. He just wanted clip-in ceilings. Like that was as far as we could get with him. He just didn't care about sound.
So where would you listen to your client? You know, it depends on, you know, what their personal preferences are. My comment earlier was more so actually about just like long-term investment in technology, in audio video in general. You know, like audio will last a lifetime. I talked about this whenever I did the A1H video that's going to come out on our channel versus the AV and the Amp 10. I just was really breaking it down into layman terms that separates is a better long-term investment, because you're not just throwing the AVR in the trash after 5 to 10 years. But a lot of people don't want to touch it for 10 years, and that's fine with an AVR system. But if you're an enthusiast and you're upgrading every time video changes, you're going through AVRs like crazy. Whereas if you do separates, you can keep your amps.
But if you do Trinnov, you can just buy the upgrade.
Trinnov.
Yeah.
Or Storm, actually. They have the same upgrade process, I suppose.
Yeah.
So somebody's asking about E-Shift versus native 4K. I don't know what you guys' experience with that was. When E-Shift and native 4K was kind of like a new thing, I didn't think there was a huge difference, but the new 4K is a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, E-Shift is great. JVC's doing it now with native 4K to E-Shift up to 8K. It's basically just flashing the pixels so quick that your eye can't detect it, giving you an emulated, a better visual appearance. That whereas native 4K is outputting that signal. Is there really a huge difference? Oh, you put it up on the screen.
Yeah, me and Kellen were talking about it last time.
8K is a thing.
The 8K kind of looks a little bit softer, actually. I think.
So when 1080, I'm older than you guys, I hate to say, but when 1080p came out, it took years to get anything in 1080p, and they were cranking out TVs and cranking out video products and it took forever. And I suspect 8K is going to kind of be the same.
I heard that the porn industry helped drive that, so maybe that's what we just need another.
The porn
resurgence
industry
there.
did help drive that. Actually, not that I know about that, but
Could you imagine?
Well,
Yeah, wasn't that
porn
HD
these
versus
days?
Blu-ray?
Damn.
That was the big debate between HD DVD and Blu-ray. Was
Yeah.
porn went HD DVD and Walt Disney went Blu-ray. So
So what you're saying is Walt Disney has more power in our society than porn?
they sell more units. I mean, how many people
they got more pull. I think internet had a lot to do with it too.
If you're
though,
selling
man.
products, how many people are going to be able to, to afford 8K content or 8K products? I mean, it's really a gimmick, dude. It just the industry does this every time.
I was just
I
talking
agree.
to one of the Samsung reps who was telling me that Samsung way overestimated what they thought 8K display sales were going to be like this past year, and that they were like very disappointed how bad it's doing, and the industry adoption's really poor. And I'm like, I don't know what you were projecting. There's no content. There's other than
That's
video
the
game
problem.
systems, there's nothing.
Yeah.
The coolest product Samsung makes, I think, is the frame TV.
I
The
agree.
art frame. That's just so dope. It really is a cool product.
Yeah.
Other than it has
like
an
how you
outboard
guys-
box that we have to deal with.
Yeah.
So let's
I actually
answer
wanna
this
do one
question
in
real
my
quick. You guys are
bedroom.
talking about 8K. Is there a difference between eShift and native 4K? Yes, there is. You can definitely tell the sharpness
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Yeah,
of native
agreed.
4K over eShift. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how Epson's able to get so much brightness out of it. You don't need
Yeah.
that much horsepower to go through a non-native chip. So it's
So that's another thing to consider. A lot of guys will be on the fence between, the Epsons or the Sony and JVC. And a lot of it does come down to light output and the circumstances, the space. If you're using it for a dedicated home theater, you're watching with all the lights off, or like that room we saw earlier. I'm sure he has a lot of times where they're down there, just hanging out with the lights on, and maybe they have just the lights off in that one area. That Epson's going to perform really well because of the lumen output.
or you can't talk to your customer out of not doing a 200-inch screen. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta have the much.
And they don't have the budget for a,
Barco.
I was about to say something high end.
Christy,
Hey,
I
I got to jump in real fast. I got to split, but I just want to say thank you for inviting me.
Aaron,
I get some sleep.
Love you,
I'm
brother.
tired, and I'm tired.
Thank you.
It was good hanging out with you guys, man.
One
Y'all
of
have
the
a good
best
night.
people in the business.
Well, I appreciate that, man. Y'all have a good
All right,
night.
man. Aaron. Thanks
Have a
for
good one,
coming on, Aaron.
Yeah, man.
Talk to
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Y'all have a good
Later,
one.
Make sure you check your email like first thing in the morning.
Yes.
First thing in the morning. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah. All right, later.
Yeah, Matt sent a picture of him in an Iron Man helmet.
I think I just got one. Yeah. All right, we'll see y'all. Bye.
All right,
See ya.
Be good. Yeah, that I got to hang out with that dude, man. He's super cool and really he's passionate about
He is.
about
Aaron's a
what
good
he
guy.
does.
Aaron's Audio
Really good
Corner.
guy.
Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already.
Guy can throw down some pasta.
He can eat.
Oh, yeah.
He can eat. Yeah, Shane, I wish you could have come down for the audio show. We had a great time just hanging out and
One of these days.
and watching Kellen walk around looking at some of this esoteric shit that these people have and $80,000 amps and 10, 15, 20, 30,000, $80,000 cables, $100,000 bookshelves. Preposterous.
Did you check out Adam's space while you were down there, Kellen?
No, he was on a cruise ship. So
Man, your room sounds wicked.
Yeah.
I wanna see that when it's finished.
Oh, my room?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when it's
gonna
done,
be
hopefully. I mean, I'm hoping to actually do hosted events when it's done, for people in the industry, because like the thing that I sell is, yes, I sell some equipment, but that's not the main thing that I sell. It's my services. So the whole point of that room was to highlight what that's like.
I see.
Yeah, he put a lot of effort into that room. So I've had my crews out there trying to get it all wired up and dialed in, get it going. We're going to do a bunch of videos on Matt's room, and we're building a really badass state-of-the-art showroom that's going to have a full Ascendo audio system in it. We're pretty excited about. Then we're going to do another showroom. We're probably going to do RTJ speakers in that, just to kind of have a little difference. So
And
in
those
my
rooms have
world,
sound ISO.
in my world, it's all about aesthetics, clean racks, proper wiring, making the room look good. A lot of clients that we have as integrators, a bunch of that budget is spent on the room itself, you know, the quality of the seats, the lighting, and how that room looks. So it's a little bit different world. So this is a cool system, man. Listen, you know, for a parent system in a basement, that's awesome. I mean, there's a few things that us pros can recommend to do on there to kind of improve the sound, but I just think it's cool. I think it's cool as dads in the home theater. That's pretty killer.
What
a great way to share, you know.
He's got a couple laser disc players, couple VHS players, HD DVD.
Laser disc. Shit, you were like in grade school when we were selling those, weren't you? No, Shane, you're old, aren't you?
Same age.
You're old, aren't you?
Almost 50.
James Larson gave me a laser disc for my birthday one year. No, like I don't have a laser disc player.
The first time I had AC3 in a home was with the laser disc.
Yeah,
AC3. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. It was
around Yamaha DSP-1, I believe, was the first decoder for Dolby Digital.
Actually, Onkyo TX SP828 THX with the ED901 processor was the first.
Sure? No, you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm right.
No, I'm not wrong. I'm pretty damn positive because I owned it, bitch.
I have to fact check that one. Fact check.
Drink of choice tonight. What are you drinking, Shane?
I'm already out. I'm gonna go get a refill in a second here. So let's finish up Tyler's room here. He's excited to talk about his laser disc players.
It's cool.
I would say you need to pull. Yeah, I would say you need to pull that RO or Euro that Wi-Fi out of there, because if the Wi-Fi sucks down there, that's the reason.
And put an Arachne system in there and get rid of that stuff, dude.
I mean, that stuff's actually fine for the money. Yeah. Just get it out of the rack.
Yeah, well, it's in a metal housing. It's okay.
It's a fair gauge.
It's a good DY.
Probably sticking that up on top of the rack and just letting it sit up there would be fine. Better than what he's done.
Yeah, just put it on top. That's all I had.
You guys sell You guys sell a lot of Arachnes, don't you, Zach?
Yeah,
that's really good stuff, dude.
That stuff there, though, Euro. Is it Euro or Euro?
I pronounce it Euro.
What it is, it's not bad, but I mean,
well, they've got some new. They have like a new Pro line.
Yeah, the new Pro line.
They do. It has
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's good for what it costs. It's
exactly. It's a lot cheaper than the Arachne stuff. It's pretty solid. It's easy to set up. I actually did it in a client's house. Arachne was out of budget for him, so we spec'd it in. It's been fun.
Really.
That's what I was gonna say. If I have a lot of,
I mean, look down. I'm not an integrator. I was able to install it.
Well, we do a lot of Ruckus on our high end projects. I mean, I tell you what, hands down, that Ruckus is the baddest Wi-Fi product on the market. I mean, unless you're doing like a Meraki or something, but you know, we have a different clientele. I mean, our clients are multimillionaires, you know what I mean? So the average person can't spend $5 or $6 grand on their network.
Is Ruckus a European brand?
No, it's an American product.
Okay.
It's but I mean, one Wi-Fi 6 access point from Ruckus is about $1,500-$1,600 for an access point. So
it's not that bad for the performance, though. I've seen them.
Yeah, but a lot of these houses we got to deploy 6 or 8 or 10. You know what I mean? It can get pricey, but yeah, it's not. I mean, for what it does, it's amazing.
This is
Wi-Fi 6 stuff's working out great. The penetration through walls that we're getting with Wi-Fi 6 is crazy. It's almost like 2.4. Really is great.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The Arachne is kind of like a sweet spot to price.
Yeah, I agree. The new 800 series.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the new 800 series is super sweet.
Yeah, you got to have that type of ecosystem for these large homes, like especially when I was doing custom integration. You get a 10,000, 15,000 square foot home. Yep. You got to have those hardwired APs.
My house is nowhere near that big, and I needed it too. My house is 2,600 square feet. It's actually relatively small, but it's long, and so I've got 3 access points to cover it. I mean, it gives me coverage outside too, but still. No, I have 4. What am I saying? I have 1 outside and 3 inside, and that gives me coverage everywhere.
Zach, are you guys doing much outdoor theater stuff?
I don't know. That's a question for Kellen. I'm not in sales anymore.
No, you're right. He said that. We'll talk later.
Well, a mutual customer of ours is doing one.
Oh,
Well, we were at the
yeah.
audio show. We had a mutual client that I mean,
Are you
he's
talking
one of my
about
sales
Ted?
guys. Take care of him. Yeah, he's super cool. He's
No,
building an amazing house.
Kenny
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking about Ted's. That's a cool one that you sent me.
Yeah, so Ted Bonham, he's got. Well, I shouldn't be doing first and last names.
That's why I didn't say the last name. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Sorry,
Ted,
Ted.
if you're listening, awesome outdoor setup. But it's kind of like a sunroom, but it's been dried in, so it's not like a outdoor space, but it is. And it's an outdoor kitchen, all this stuff, but it's all under roof. The part of it's been closed in, but he's doing like Focal 1000s out there.
Wow.
Yeah. So
So
Are
I got
Focal's IP
zero
rated for that
financial.
stuff?
I don't really have any financial skin in the game with the Dream Media guys, but I can tell everybody out there that if these guys care and they do solid work. So, and give solid advice. I was super impressed with Kellen, getting to know him and talking about the systems he does and whatnot. And, you know, Zach's just Zach, you know what I mean? Zach's like a ray of sunshine. Can I do it, Zach? Smash that subscribe button. Come on.
Smash it.
Smash that shit. Anyways, all right, we got any more theaters to roast? Come on.
Let's just wrap up his really quick. This is it here.
Oh man, you got to get the Blasto butter.
Oh,
I think actually he does have it. Yeah, get rid of that Act 2 stuff. Yeah, get the Blasto butter.
Come on, man.
Have you guys seen Kellen's perfect movie theater popcorn video on our channel? Check it out.
No.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that out myself. Yeah. This is cute.
I
He's
just
got a dresser.
he doesn't have a big bourbon collection on there, so I'm a little disappointed on that.
This is his parents' house. Maybe they don't drink.
Was that Halloween?
No, I think it's for the movie. Candy
Oh,
selection.
okay.
Yeah. He's got his old, you know, he probably moved out of his parents' house. He put his dresser down there. That's cool. Little microwave down there.
Ubiquity is garbage. Sorry.
I was waiting for that.
Oh my god, dude, that's the worst shit in the planet.
So for those that don't know, the Ubiquity stuff is very affordable for what it is, and yet every integrator I've ever met hates it.
Every cheap IT guy uses that shit, and it's garbage. We'll never use it again, ever. Sorry.
My guys have never had great luck with it either.
See,
everybody.
I've actually not really used it, but everybody I keep talking to is like, it's garbage. Don't use it. I'm like, but it's a good price. Like, yeah, for a reason.
If it's cheap, you probably don't want it.
Well, Tyler, thank you for sharing your theater. We actually got a bunch more emails, but we'll probably say that for the next time. But thank you for the for your theater and your parents' theater. Really appreciate that.
Really
I don't think we really shit on it. We didn't really shit on it. We didn't really roast on it. Don't say too much.
It's all in jest.
Like, yeah, all in jest. I think you got a lot of some good takeaways from the pros here. Unlike myself, you got, you know, Matt and Don and the rest of the Dream Media crew giving you some good advice there. Good advice, not bad advice, not bad audio advice, but good audio advice
now,
from Dream Media.
Nice.
I'm just saying, you got good media advice from Dream Media.
There's plenty
You
of
didn't get bad audio advice. You got good audio advice
They
from
do a
Dream
good
Media.
job. I know those guys are great.
Audio Advice is a good company. I talk with their
Audio
CEOs
Advice is
regularly.
cool. You know,
They're
they're big, so you're getting a different experience with Dream Media. I was actually skiing with Jonathan from Audio Advice this morning. They're cool guys.
They're very, very cool guys.
But
listen, you know, we love the Dream Media guys. I mean, you guys do a good job, man. I was impressed.
We're very, very detail oriented. What separates us is the video consultations. Like, we're hand curating these systems, and we're smaller, and we're just very specific. We're making sure to recommend the exact products for every exact situation, so you get a better end result.
I mean, what impressed me the most is Kellen lives in Beaver Lick, Kentucky, and he's still dialed into everything.
Yeah. Kellen's the man.
Like, Kellen, come on.
So I guess it's like, it's like shopping at
Beaver Cuss.
So would you equate the shopping experience to a very personal experience, or shopping at like a Best Buy? Is that which kind of the divide you're saying here?
No, it's not. Yeah, I mean, shopping at Best Buy is not what you would be getting with Dream Media.
It's personalized.
Zach, I like the room you're in, dude. Where you're sitting on the desk with the lighting. It looks pretty dope, bro.
Very nice.
Thanks, man. I set it up just for you guys.
Looks good.
Normally,
Fancy.
this room is destroyed. I tried to make it look good for you.
How many kids you got?
Just one, and
Just
it
one?
is enough.
One's enough.
Yeah. We are pumping the brakes and taking it slow.
Man, don't stir up shit, Neil.
Tyler, some of you guys like to address some of the comments. You should be ignoring some of the comments. So it doesn't spill into the video. Done. But Tyler appreciates the roasts. But like we said, it's all in jest. We're just having a good time here because everybody else
It's
praises
always
everybody
good
else's home
speakers.
theaters.
Get them off the sidewalls, man.
Yes.
The VHS table though, that takes the cake for tonight.
That was very cool.
That's amazing.
That was super cool.
I believe there was another super chat up here. Let me go up to it really quick.
I will say there are some speakers that are actually specifically designed to work in the corners, but they're not usually very good speakers.
Clipshorns?
Yeah. There's others.
William gave us a $2 super chat. Aaron, well, Aaron's gone. Well, Aaron, Polk Audio OWM3 and ceiling mount. What does that mean? What does that mean, William? Thank you for the super chat, though.
Thank you. We
And
can't answer
then-
your question.
One more here. Thank you for the super chat there, Tony Esquire. Evening, Mr. Lee. Could you drop your Patreon in the chat? Yes, I will. Both my AWOL Vision 3500 Vivid Storm Rising Screen are giving me nightmares with positioning. Seriously, consider selling this. I'll hand it over to the installers here. How would you recommend he set up his ultra short throw projector?
The floor rising screens are a nightmare. If you're not super
Use the bathroom.
particular in setting it up, things can get with any ultra short throw. If you're not being particular and taking your time when setting it up, things can get out of whack really quick.
That's why these cabinets are great because it keeps them from getting bumped. Big fan of the Salamander cabinet. You should watch our channel though. Little sneak peek. We're bringing on AWOL, and I got pallets of gear coming here to the house. I don't know what manufacturer they're using for their floor rising system, or if it's an in-house developed brand, but I'll be honest with you guys, especially since we're just introducing it to the channel. I want to check out, they have like this modular system that they displayed at CES this year, and I'm going to have it here at the house. I'm actually going to set it up right here against this glass wall because I figured it'd be a great opportunity to show people that have a view and don't want to block it a solution. So I'll let you know if it lines up. What?
It's a floor rising screen too.
Yeah, it's like a really super low profile because like a ton of my clients, they have these multi-million-dollar homes and then they have this dinky little TV off to the side because they don't want to block the windows. And it is what it is, but with ultra short throw and them getting super bright. And I saw that AWOL 3500 at CES and was impressed, which is why I wanted to start bring it on and introduce it to you guys. And that system they had was super clean looking. And I just saw the immediate need for that for our customer base. So I'll set it up. It also has a retractable cabinet that brings the unit out and the motorized unit. And I was actually curious myself to see if it is going to be a problem with use, because like that's why I set up this Epson LS 800 back here and have had it in the home for months now, because I wanted to give an honest opinion of the performance with not just setting it up for one day and taking it down, living with it. So I'm going to do the same thing with the 3500 and that whole setup. Sorry, I don't know the SKUs yet, but it's a 3500, 120-inch retractable screen. I don't know if they manufacture it, but whenever I do put out the content, I'll have more information for you about it.
Well, thank you for the answer, guys.
My guess is the unit's getting bumped or something in the room is moving it, and that's why it's not aligning properly every time, to answer your question.
You guys sell a ton of those short throw projectors, huh?
I don't know if we sell a ton, but we do. I mean, we do quite a bit. I mean,
it's got its place. I mean, I would say for home theater, overhead front throw projectors still, I would say better.
Yeah, it's a majority of what we do.
I've
It's just
heard
finding a
that the
place to
overhead
put the
have
projector.
less optical aberrations, but also better contrast ratio for the most part. But just a lot of people can't do it. They don't have a place to put the projector.
It's a compromise with the ultra short throws. I mean, it has its place.
Gene just came on. Hey, Gene.
Godfather.
Oh, Gene, the Godfather.
We were looking at pictures of you earlier.
Yeah, homoerotic pictures of you in the gym.
It's inspiration for Shane with his unhealthy lifestyle.
How many times you set off the lunk alarms taking that selfie?
Oh, stretch really quick.
Look, you got muscle.
Tonight, I don't think the lunk alarm works at midnight.
My belly itches. Should I show you my belly, Gene?
No, I don't want to see that.
So we were roasting some theaters, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, Kellen, meet Gene.
Of, the
Hey,
people
Gene.
I give consultations to, I should give you some pictures for that.
Gene, something's up with your audio. Is your mic working right?
Yeah,
Check.
it's not
One,
good.
two. Can you hear me? It's low?
It's an echo.
Oh,
Need that clip mic so we can hear you.
hold
Turn
on,
it
let
up.
me make sure it's not on the wrong thing.
I think it's on the wrong thing, maybe. While you're doing that, somebody wants to know why you get a UST over the 100-inch TV. But you guys said earlier it's a much cheaper option. So the 100-inch TVs are what, like 15 grand, something like that, right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they were just on sale for 12. So I mean, they're
Well,
coming. Look,
TCL had that one for
micro
like
LED is
5.
going to destroy.
Right. You can still get
eventually
into a
destroy all
short throw
this.
projector for like quite a bit less than that.
It's considerably less expensive.
Oh, here's a good
If
one.
you could do a 100-inch TV, if you can afford it, I mean, that's the way to go every time.
Yeah. Brighter,
Zach,
sharper.
can we update Fred on the Man Cave makeover winner?
Yeah, absolutely. So
What is this?
that's actually I was meaning to dive into that earlier when I saw that other guy's bedroom. I was going to tell him to watch our channel for that to come out because he could find some inspiration. We're completely overhauling this guy's it's a bedroom, and we're transforming it into an actual theater space, one that I think even you, Shane, could call a dedicated theater. Acoustics,
Whoa.
dark room. Actually, let me see if I can pull up some renders to kind
So
of
Kellen got
tease
to
you
experience my bedroom theater.
So can you guys hear me better now?
What is
Yeah,
that?
you
Money
sound
goes-
good now.
Okay.
So Gene, your background looks like some of the theaters we looked at tonight.
I know the Rebel speakers really class it up.
They do.
The most unlistenable speaker in my house, but they're there.
Shh, dude, come on.
William says a TCL 98-inch is $8,000.
No, that's a TCL. Good luck.
I recall it being about 5,000 a few months ago
Is it on sale? Well, it's a good
Yeah,
price for such a big TV.
Damn.
for $5,000.
I mean, for that kind of a price, you just throw it away when it breaks.
I would never buy that
Yep.
TV.
Yeah, stick it outside. Hell.
get the
I heard I got a
extended
pretty good
warranty.
review from somebody. One of our audio cohorts on YouTube gave a good review, I believe.
So I haven't put anything out on our channel about the Man Cave makeover thing. Whoever asked that, but here's a little teaser. It's going to be 2 to 3 weeks before the series starts coming out, but this is what the room's going to look like.
Whoa, fancy.
Wow,
That's
that's a
nice.
bedroom.
Very
That's a
nice.
bedroom.
Where's the bed?
Yeah.
No bed.
Is that those pull out in beds? Those chairs?
Somebody won that?
No, they sleep
get
on
it-
the
They get
chairs.
it for free?
Yeah, the manufacturers all donated it, and I donated
Really?
my time to do it 100% for free.
Wow.
So we
You
kind
got-
of did this same approach where we had customers submit their man caves that needed a makeover. And so we
You pick the most in need.
Well, that's
and
really
great story. A mom submitted his son's, a project that he was working on before he got injured and wasn't able to work and finish the project. And so great story. perfect opportunity. And like Zach said, we had a bunch of great manufacturers on board: Kaleidoscape, Valencia, Epson, Salamander, Focal. Yeah, it's going to be, I don't know, $60,000-$70,000 worth of
We should
equipment.
call it a person cave. Man cave's inappropriate.
I know. Mark from the marketing department at Epson actually came up with it. And then after we got into it, we started talking with other marketing teams. And that's what everybody said. Why did we call it a man cave? What are we thinking these days, calling it a man cave?
Well, now we're going to do a she shed makeover. So
next year we'll just have to flip.
Crazy. Hey, Don, did you see the new 11-channel Integra receiver?
Yeah. Well,
you're talking about that, right?
I did.
We were talking about
they
it
got
earlier.
their HDMI fixed. Cool.
I mean, they fixed.
I think it's been fixed for a while. I think it's doing all right.
I know it is.
I mean, I've had that Pioneer here for like a year, and it's been fine.
The only problem with the Integra and the Accio receivers is they just don't drive forum speakers very well.
No.
So
yeah, the protection circuit.
That technology, WRAT.
No, it's just too many nannies. The Japanese receivers like to put lots of nannies, and they're actually worse than Yamaha. Unfortunately, I don't know when that happened, because back in the day when we had flagships for Accio, those things, they could drive forum loads. No problem.
We talked about that. The one I had, the one with the modular inputs for the video cards, that was one of the best receivers I ever had when the flagship. I'm excited to check out this new Denon. I saw your video, Gene, on it. That thing looks like a beast.
Yeah, that thing will do 105 watts a channel with 9 channels driven. So think about the math on that. It's a Class AB amp. You're consuming almost 1,400 watts of power to do that. That's close to the 15 amp circuit. I mean,
when are they going to switch to Class D, like the NAD?
Well,
it sounds like
nobody else on the planet's doing 15 channels in one box on a receiver. So to go to a good Class D, you're talking that receiver will probably be $8 or $9 grand, because the cost per channel is much higher. On
Kellen, what's that one that Focal sells? The big, like 20-some channel one.
I think it's just a processor.
Well, that one isn't that based on the Storm processor?
Yeah, it is.
But it's got, was it Pascal amp modules built into it or something?
Yeah, that's not cheap.
It's really
expensive.
Like
25 grand. Yeah, but it's
exactly. So imagine if they used a Pascal module or even the ICE module that the Marantz is using now. That receiver will be, I'm guessing, $8 or $9 grand. And most people don't like the idea of having a $6,000 receiver unless it says McIntosh on it.
Yeah,
with pretty lights.
I think Class D is going to be coming at some point. I had asked about it when I was out at Massimo, but they didn't give us the impression that this was on the near horizon.
So think about this. What most people don't realize that the Denon, for example, I consider it more of a Class G than a Class AB, because it has 2 rails. It has a low rail for low power if you use the auto on eco mode, and then it has the high rail for higher power. So you're not dissipating as much power as the older models, like the 5805, when it had 10 channels sitting in idle. That thing was consuming probably 300 or 400 watts just sitting there. So this is a little bit more efficient. So you're getting, maybe 60 to 70% efficiency. It's not as good as Class D, but it's, some of these ICE Class D modules are only about 85% efficient anyway. So it's not like a huge difference. So I can understand why they didn't jump to Class D, mostly because of cost, but
eventually.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Most of the AVR companies are not giving you that many channels. They're giving you preamp outputs like Anthem, for example. And Anthem's cutting the cost on the height channels, and they're putting that single rail Class D amplifier in it, which is pretty lame. But those receivers run really cool.
Here's the new Integra.
It looks good. I want to check it out. I definitely want to.
Yeah.
If I could ever catch up with the other stuff I'm reviewing.
They could redeem themselves with me.
I just don't understand why they abandoned the Integra Research brand.
Oh, that was such a killer brand back in the day. Remember that amp?
Yep.
Yeah.
That thing
that amp had a funny story to it. They claimed it was balanced audio technology, but it was really an ATI amp.
Was it really?
Yep,
It looked cool.
BAT, they put BAT on it for the the nostalgia or for the prestige of it.
Oh, go back up. That may be
Well,
pretty
did
good.
ATI make the amps for balanced audio technology? Maybe.
Works with
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that was a actual ATI amp. It might have had something in BAT involved in it, but it was really an ATI.
I mean, even being an ATI is better than what you'd typically expect to get.
It was a great amp.
Integra.
Yeah.
You see that new McIntosh receiver, Gene?
Yeah, I think I saw it. I didn't look too deep into it.
Is it another rebrand, Moritz?
It's probably a rebrand for sure.
Yeah.
So this one already comes with Direct Live, and I think, does this have bass control too? The Integra?
It doesn't.
And it weighs 50 pounds, so it's got a pretty hefty power supply in it. It's like the flagship Sony.
Yeah, bass control. Ready.
50
Direct
pounds
live bass
light
control
compared to the old ones.
Cool. Yeah, because they don't have that on, unless they've upgraded it and I missed it. They don't have that on the other models that are out right now.
Shane, wait till you get that A1H. You're gonna break your back getting that thing in the house.
Coming in Friday.
My FedEx driver slid it from the street all the way up my driveway on the snow because she couldn't.
It's still lightweight compared to some of the flagship receivers from back in the day, though.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Yeah, so like the Yamaha Z9 was only 9 channels and it weighed more than that. The Denon 5803 was only 7 channels and it weighed more than that.
Yeah, it was huge.
And the 5805 was 100 pounds. So that thing was a beast.
Back in the old days.
Probably the best receiver ever made.
In my opinion.
I guess I need to work out.
70 pounds is still heavy. Believe me, when I was at Audio Advice, they made me lift it up. I'm like, damn, this is a workout.
Where are you at, Gene?
Audio
Advice.
Oh, okay.
Shane's been shitting on him all night, so I tried to.
You have? Why? What's their
I
shit
didn't
on?
say anything.
I
just said one of the guys got bad audio device from somewhere.
Audio Advice, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I backed him up. Nobody's talking trash about Audio Advice.
Yeah, see?
We have nothing to love.
Zach was skiing with one of them this morning. So,
oh, nice. Is that what you have snowboards on the sidewall over there, Zach?
Yeah,
those are bass traps.
We like Audio Advice. It's all good. Yeah.
So what was Youth Man saying earlier? Why can't everyone get along in this hobby?
That's Youth Man. He might be the glue that brings us all together.
I actually think that's smart. Doesn't make a lot of sense to get into feuds.
Dude, we all love the same shit. I mean,
yeah,
we disagree on shit like, Oro 3D and Atmos speaker placement and stuff. But I mean,
you got to compromise a speaker placement for 3 CDs or 3 Blu-rays.
Zach was asking about that. Oro 3D. Gene, why don't you share your thoughts on Oro 3D? Your tests that you did.
Yeah, I'd love to
hear it. Upmixing? You mean upmixing? Because there's no native content unless you want to listen to Mondo Dio. I've got a Mondo Dio disc.
It was good, right?
Yeah, it's great.
It was worth it to dedicate a room just to that.
I like the Oro upmixer for certain kind of music. Well, if I'm listening to like jazz that has more of a focus center stage, and I don't want to have like it expand out and I want to just kind of focus on like a 3-piece band, then I actually listen to the Oro 3D upmixer. But when I'm listening to anything that's got like a lot of decorrelated information, like the Dominique Fils-Aimé music, it sounds way better with the Dolby upmixer. If you have center spread engaged and you have everything properly set up and you got side channels, it sounds discreet. It sounds almost like you're listening to Atmos. And I never get that with the Oro upmixer for 2-channel content.
Yeah. I was playing around with the different ones today once I got my setup going for a little bit of music. I have to say I was actually really impressed with the DTS Neural X upmixer. I've used it in the past and thought it was so, but today it sounded good on the Trinnov at least. Maybe they've got a better implementation.
I don't know, because the DTS X one it does great with the surrounds, but it puts so much into the center channel it completely destroys the stereo image. So I was
getting a really good image. I was actually impressed with what I was hearing. I've had bad luck with it in the past too, but on the Trinnov at least it sounded really good.
Is there an adjustment for the center channel on it? Because DTS X, they dropped that. The last generation of DTS upmixers had music mode and cinema mode, and you could adjust the
Man, he's
center
got a-
width.
Man, he's
All
got a
that's
storm,
gone.
So he's got a storm.
What does that mean?
I mean, you're not hearing what me and Matt are hearing with DTSX. Clearly, DTSX
okay.
is my preferred upmixing as well.
For two channel upmixing?
Oh, my bad. I'm bad for 2-channel. I don't listen.
Yeah,
I
for
listen to
5.1,
2-channel,
it's great. For 5.1 upmixing, it's great.
Yeah,
But for
for
2
5-channel,
it's
I like
a horrible,
Shane,
horrible.
fly your ass
2-channel
down
upmixing.
and listen to Gene's theater. It's pretty impressive.
I will one of these days. I'll get down there.
Yeah, you're supposed to do a cable channel with his little battery powered
I gotta-
cables.
I
What
gotta-
happened to your
I
little
gotta hear
battery
that-
powered
I
cables?
hear that shit every day in the comment section.
Your little RF
Every single day,
antenna
there's at
cable.
least 1 or 2 comments. It's gonna happen, guys. Don't you worry about that. It's gonna happen.
It's a little bit bright.
Little bright.
Gene pays for my
It's a little-
gas.
It's a little bright.
Dude, you're wearing a Rolex.
you don't go
and you're
anywhere.
worried about gas.
That's why I
You
can't
have a
afford gas. I'm
Rolex
wearing a
on.
Rolex. Wait, did you listen to the Amp 10 yet?
No, I haven't even opened
You
it.
didn't take it out of the box, did you?
Nope.
He's got a lot of
You already checked out the A1H, Gene?
Well, no, I just looked at it at the audio device thing, but I haven't actually done any bench testing or anything on it. We don't even have a unit. I think they were supposed to send one to Matt, but Matt's like got the Sony right now. So
Well, that's not why I don't have one though. They just didn't send it.
yeah.
But I couldn't get to it anyway. I have to get the Sony done. I had it on the bench earlier, but for some reason the Sony, like when I plugged it all in, it was like all channels stereo with a bunch of processing going on. And I was getting goofy measurements, and it took me 20 minutes to figure out how to turn everything off and do like a pure direct on it.
Well, Shane, after you get done doing some content, maybe you can send it to Gene or Pose, and they can play around
Yeah.
with it.
The A1H. We're supposed to get one though. They told us they'd send one over.
I didn't push it too hard because I know like they dumped those separates on me and I didn't even ask for that. It just showed up at my house. So I want to make sure I get some coverage going on that like in the next week or so. But yeah, I'm curious. I think that Sony is going to measure better than you think. I think it's going to have a
Yeah,
nice meaty
so
amp.
I
Tell
won't
them,
be
Gene,
shocked if the
don't-
amplifier
Sony-
measures well.
When Sony wants to do audio right, they do audio right.
It's just
There is-
tragic that they don't have multiple sub outs on it. I can't believe a $3,000 receiver has got a parallel sub out. Of course, right, Shane? I mean, you verified
I think
that
it's
you can't.
Is it
I-
parallel? Because
see,
I thought
I-
it said that it was discrete.
when you run the tone and everything comes out as single. I mean, maybe, but when you run test tones, it's all as one channel.
Oh, all right.
But can you go into the user set to the speaker menus and adjust the delay and level separately for each? sub?
No, that's only one. It's
Yeah,
only one.
see, that's just a
Yeah.
parallel output.
Well, that is kind of sucky then. I will say
Hmm.
the disappointment so far with it is that it's kind of cheaply built for the price. Like I don't think it's
Yeah,
as good as
plastic.
some of the competition in that price point.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it all
Yeah.
plasticky?
It's pretty plasticky. The whole front panel is plastic. It looks nice. I mean, it looks like it's metal, but it's not.
Just don't touch it. Looks nice if you don't touch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
That's
It looks like fake aluminum. Looks like
and the binding
aluminum
posts
made
on
of
the
plastic.
back feel kind of cheap. Like they don't feel as nice as what Denon's putting on theirs in that price
yeah.
range.
That A1H.
Well, it is a CI product, so it's probably a high profit product, I would imagine.
Could be, but it's heavy. The power transformer is huge. I mean, there's parts of it that I look at and I think they spent some money, made this thing nice, and there's other parts of it where it just looks cheap.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. I don't know what your name is. Shane plans on reviewing the AZ5000 ES. Seems to be a good middle place. I do not plan on reviewing that. I would just figure you dumb down the 7000. You probably got yourself the 5000 ES. I'm pretty sure it's just less wattage per channel.
Just, what, 2 less channels?
Same feature.
basically?
Yeah, same features. So, listen, I was a fan of the 7000. I still am. I got it. It's mine. And if that's what you can afford, the 5000, I would just say get the 5000. It's solid receiver. I don't think it's positioned as an audiophile-esque type of AVR. I think it's.
I want to
more
hear their new surround processing.
I like
Reality
it. I mean,
360.
yeah, I like it for what it does.
I mean, did
Like
you
for the
notice
casual- not-
difference?
I think for like
In
an
the
all
surround
Sony
processing.
user, for an all Sony television set / Sony AVR, you want to keep everything all in the family in your living room. I think this is the option. This is the way to go. It all
Their
works together.
HDMI has
and you
been
just-
very reliable.
Use the Sony
Yeah.
TV as the center channel.
Sony TV has a center channel. You guys might look down upon that, but it's pretty.
I
cool.
do.
Yeah.
It's got dual center outputs too, so you could put, I would assume it has different delays on it.
That I actually thought was kind of a cool feel. I'd like to play with it and see what it actually sounds like, but the description sounded cool. But the TV, I mean, I understand they've got those actuators in the screen and that lets you get the sound from the screen, but how good could it possibly be?
It's not like loud. It blends in with your center, so it kind of moves it up a little bit, so it sounds like it's coming from your TV. If you focus in on it, you can still kind of hear it coming from the center. But if you're just watching TV, you're not really paying too much attention to it. It sounds like it's coming directly at you from the television set.
So what happens when you listen at reference levels, though? Doesn't the TV speaker compress before
the TV just cracks?
Yeah. I mean, if the TV can only play,
everybody's reference level is different.
No, there's only one reference level.
Yeah.
Right.
85 dB, 145 dB.
140 dB.
That's not reference level. That's you've got hearing.
We know
level.
we're kidding.
Every day with this guy. Every day with you, Pedro. Every day. Stop asking a question. All right? I understand you ask this. I understand you ask this all the time.
So what happened?
I haven't forgotten. I've not forgotten. I'm too lazy to leave my house. Listen, Gene wants to play. If he wants to pay my plane fare,
Shane won't even go to a trade show. You think he's gonna come fly to Florida to play with cables?
He's like Gollum. He doesn't leave his
Shane,
home.
I live in Sarasota. We have the best beaches in the country, like outside of Hawaii. Just come visit. Enjoy yourself on the beaches and then play with some cables for a while.
You know what? When I will come down when the secret project that you and Don are working on, and then when your theater is done, I want to be able to shoot that room, that house, and your house, and then I'll swing by Gene's. It'll be good. Plenty of content right there. That's what I'll down.
I'll kidnap
Pedro.
your ass and bring you over. So
we actually probably could do a whole tour of Central and South Florida for.
How cool would that be? I need to get Kellen back. Maybe Zach can come down and visit. We could do like a whole deal. That'd be fun.
Shane, if we do the cable challenge, do I have to elevate the cables, or can you put them on the floor?
Oh God!
It doesn't matter where they are lying. I'll be able to hear the difference.
Are you sure they don't have to be elevated on little fiddlesticks?
We need some granite speakers though, for reference.
Hey, Kellen and Zach, granite speakers. Okay, bring the Sopras over. I don't know if I'm going to hear the difference. Maybe on your per listens, but if you had some Sopras, 100%. Those Revels look kind of cheap to me. But hold on, super chat.
I would not use the Revels.
Super chat fight out. What are your thoughts on some DIY guys integrating PowerSoft 30-inch M4 subwoofer? It has no traditional voice coil. I've never heard of that.
The M4 is a linear actuator style driver. It's very unique, and it basically what they do is they take a standard PowerSoft Class D amplifier and take advantage of the way that that's controlled, so that it's basically a digital drive actuator instead of a typical voice coil. So you get way lower distortion. It's way more linear. It doesn't actually have a ton of excursion. It's 18 millimeters one way X max, but it's a 30-inch driver, so it kind of doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I didn't know if somebody can put a link so I can get that later. I didn't know anybody had bought one of those and tried to DIY something together. I'm kind of curious myself. I've never heard it. I followed the tech. I've been waiting for somebody to implement it. It looks like a cool concept. One of the issues with really, really big drivers is just keeping that coil linear. And what happens to do that is you make the coil really big in diameter. Like you end up with something that's like 12 inches, 20 inches in diameter to be able to do that. And then the inductance is so high, you get a lot of performance problems and pretty high distortion in the upper bass. This system, that's not an issue at all. There's no inductance issues, no distortion issues. This is basically like the ultimate servo sub.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Wow, I've never seen that before.
It's also really shallow. I mean, you can make a subwoofer that's probably only 20 inches deep with that 30-inch driver. So you can do because I think it's only 17 inches deep for the whole cone front to back.
Damn, looks like almost like a bandpass enclosure on that.
That's just the driver. It's just the cone is sort of a weird inverted shape.
Huh. Interesting.
It was originally kind of a concept, but there was no driver, and then there was this driver you could buy, and I didn't realize anybody bought one. I think it's cool. I'm kind of curious what they cost. Never bothered to ask.
Hey, Matt, have you ever tested out those subs that look like a fan? You know what I'm talking about?
I have not
The rotary
tested them,
sub.
but I've heard the roto sub. Yeah, I mean it's a cool concept too. So the one that I heard, and somebody told me this was a common issue. So the first day that I heard it, it was pretty cool, and then they were screwing around with it quite a bit, and something broke, and it was making a lot of noises the next time. And I had heard that they're very finicky, and it was not an unheard of issue that they would have problems.
Why don't you just get the Ascendo 70-inch and put it in your bedroom, Shane?
80-inch.
Or
They wanted me to
yeah.
borrow one, but I couldn't.
Gene,
couldn't
by
find
the way,
a
all of
borrow
our
it,
Ascendo,
Fly in with a
Ascendo stuff
helicopter.
came in today. So Matt's going to test the 24 and the 18s and the 12
Nice.
at our shop. Yeah.
Where are they?
So
They're at
you're the
your
only
shop?
guy here.
They're
So
in
you're going to carry
Sarasota at
them.
our building in Sarasota. I'm grabbing the 212s and the two. They sent me their beryllium passive 12-inch monitors. I'm going to bring those up. I'm going to let Matt test them. I'm going to pass them around. So
You guys heard them, Kellen and Zach. What do you think of those Ascendo speakers?
I heard them in not the best setting. So I was at Cedia. I mean, it was in one of those sound rooms, but I wasn't super impressed. I mean, just tons and tons and tons of bass. So I didn't really get to hear the speakers shine. So it didn't blow me away. But
Didn't you put it was on your channel? That's when I saw them, the actual speakers.
I was stuck in meetings. Our film guy went in there and shot it. I got like a second of demo, but there were like 100 people, not 100. There were a lot of people smashed in that room, and I wasn't in the primary seating area. A lot of variables. I don't want to give an opinion on it.
Well, I'll give him a pretty good demo, and so will Matt. Possibly get Gene involved in that too.
Yeah, Shane, you didn't like gush over them in your review.
I think I'm just gush in general. I thought I mean, I have them myself. I like them. I really like them. Yeah.
Are they a little bit?
The only thing I gushed over were the Sopras. That's the only speakers I ever gushed over, and the Perlisten. I kind of gush over those a little bit as well. But
you have the R5Ms right now, right? You have the R5Ms and the 210. So that's a great combo if you set it up right.
Best buy.
Yeah, that setup they had at the audio show was freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
literally.
You need to rock.
Did you like our video, Don, where Tony put that picture of you saying it was the best sound of the show? That was great.
Thanks. I mean, listen, the Borenson audio, those $100,000 bookshelves were. I mean, Borenson was amazing. It's really hard to say what's best, but I mean, overall, we got to spend some time and play our music and get intimate with those Perlistens, and it was just a stunning sound for literally about $11,500 worth of speakers.
Jeez,
it was
that's entry level at that show.
Yeah, well, entry level. Yeah.
Did you see the Borson X3s just launched today? It's like their entry level.
Yeah, that
towers.
We're going to be reviewing. There's going to be a pair of those for review. Those were amazing.
Yeah.
But they're not making center channels or surrounds, so
just a 2-channel company.
Well, I have to have a talk with them. I talked to their North American guy who's super cool. We'll see.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, they came out. Yeah, those were for $11,000 a pair. Those things were stunning.
They've got
and they look like Ferraris. They look like sports cars.
It might be Techstream. We don't know for sure if that's just
It looks like Techstream.
It looks
I
like
think it is.
It's not it's a carbon fiber weave. It's not the same driver that Perlisten uses.
Oh, it's because Perlisten makes their own driver.
Right. But
Techstream cones are made by the inventor of Techstream, so it's probably the same material.
What are they rating 90 dB at 1 watt? What are they doing that for? Should do it at 2.83 volts. Actually, that's a disadvantage to them because it's a 4-ohm speaker. So it's really 93 dB sensitive.
They sounded good. I'll tell you that. I was super impressed with them.
Cool. God damn it. Maybe I want these speakers instead. Super chat. Tyler Walters' recommendation for you content creators. REW Spears and Munsell tips and tricks how to videos. There isn't many videos that explain it currently. These are for the video files here. You guys deal with that, right?
Well,
Don Kellen?
Spears and Munsell has
They have both.
they have audio on it too. Yeah, I mean that was one of the first good sources of Atmos test tones.
Spears
I
and
think
Munsell?
I was going to let y'all answer that. Who's the guy that Youthman hangs out with? The video game enthusiast or whatever? Video game home theater.
Home theater gamer.
Home theater gamer. I think he has a really good video series on how to set up a mini DSP and run REW and all that stuff. But
there's that one. Home theater
I used to be
gurus.
really. I used to.
Oh yeah, home theater. Stephen Smith. That's another good one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's.
I
Good.
think Stephen Smith does good, but I think the home theater gamer does a better job of the actual detailed videos. They're a little easier to follow.
So,
but yeah, Stephen
Audio
Smith is awesome.
We're going to drop a video soon on. We're going to have one of the foremost experts on HDMI on the planet here soon. We're going to drop a video on that, which should be good.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
The $3,000 HDMI cables.
Who makes more?
Yeah, you put a little battery on,
Who's
and you get a
selling
little
it?
better, a little sharper image, better color.
Yeah.
What's the manufacturer?
Hold on. What's I got to do with Tyler's question here? Is anybody gonna make a video on this? Are you sure there's audio on that? Because I have that disc. I don't recall it.
Yeah,
being
there
audio.
is.
Yeah,
The
there's
first
audio on it
one,
for
the
sure.
first one there is. The second one they
the
did
first one.
is HDR. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I used to be really big into mini DSP like 15 years ago before any of these YouTubers discovered it, and it was a great tool. But now all the processors have independent sub outs, PEQ. It's almost become obsolete. And if you're spending a good amount, and you're getting a decent processor. So I kind of gave up on mini DSP.
Well, I have a different issue with the mini DSP. Not that it's not correctable. It's just I think the average person isn't correcting it right. But there's latency in any DSP processor.
Yep, there is.
So when you take the sub out of your receiver, you send it into the external DSP processor, like the mini DSP, and then you get everything set up. You can get the subs really optimized, but they're going to be delayed by about 25 extra milliseconds, which is the equivalent of about 26, 27.
Really?
feet,
There's
actually.
that much group delay? I thought it was maybe 5 or 6 milliseconds.
No, it's about 25 milliseconds of latency
Holy
in the
shit.
processor. So what you have to do then is you can still get a good phase alignment, but your subwoofers now are already going to be delayed naturally. Like that's a pretty normal part.
Yeah.
You typically see a cycle or two. So I've seen systems with anywhere from 50 to 100 milliseconds of delay, which effectively creates significant group delay, and that causes the bass to sound more because it's extending out longer in time. It sounds kind of more bloated. Decays longer, yeah. So to fix it, you actually have to extend the distances on all your speakers, and you often hit the limit. Like many receivers just don't have the ability to add 100 feet basically to all your speakers to compensate when it's that bad.
Then you could cause lip sync issues too. So
Well, it should auto-correct the lip sync,
Yeah.
but that's the problem. I mean, that's what starts to. So I'm not a huge fan of that approach. I know
the other
people
problem with
disagree
mini
with it,
DSP, unless you get the balanced one, I think it clips it. When I measured it, it was at 1 volt or 2. I think it was 2 volts, which I don't like clipping at 2 volts. I want to, especially with a sub out, when you start summing all the bass to the sub channel, you're going to get more than 2 volts RMS if that signal's correlated. You really want to have a clean 4 volts. So I would get the balanced version and I would use that version, but most people aren't doing that. They're using the single-ended version, and if you're lucky, you get 2 volts RMS before it clips.
Yeah. I mean, the other thing for subwoofers, it's probably fine, but the cheaper mini DSP is pretty noisy. The new one that they just came out with is not bad, but the old one that's pretty cheap, it's got a lot of hiss.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it for full range.
Aside from the older Spears and Munsell audio disc, is there any other discs out there that could be geared towards audio calibration that you know of, Gene?
I mean, the Atmos discs, the test discs have all your test tones on them, but I mean, I would just use REW. Like, especially if you have your Trinnov or a Storm, you could use that as a multiplexer and you could sweep any channel you want. I don't understand why you even need a calibration disc.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because I use some of those some of those Atmos discs, but I thought maybe there was like a specialized one that could be like used.
I mean, THX had one. I don't know if it was Atmos, but the THX one was actually pretty good because if you didn't have the ability to do measurements, it would do like 1/3 octave sweeps for every channel. It would do phase between the main speakers and the subs. You could sweep multiple channels versus the subs, and you can use an SPL meter and just kind of see what's going on. But other than that, Dolby has their own test tones on their demo discs, and you could sweep all the channels, including the heights. That's about all I know. But when you get to the level that you have, whether it's an Anthem processor or if it's a Storm processor or Trinnov, you should be able to do everything you need to do inside those processors, especially if you use REW. I think Anthem has its own measurement system, so you could literally sweep channels using the Anthem Arc measurement system.
I figured maybe Audioholics would come up with their own specialized disc for calibration.
You like to try to start shit.
I see where
that
going
dude.
now.
Such an instigator,
Stir in the
man.
pot. Oh, stir in the pot.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice idea. I just don't have the time, and I don't see the purpose when you could do it all on your processor.
Yeah,
Most
I think
people,
we've been
buying
pushing-
the disc won't be able to really benefit from all the little sweep tones. If you have technical knowledge, you should be able to do everything you need to do with REW. Matt,
Well,
do you agree?
Yeah, and actually somebody already authored the REW sign sweep in the Atmos format for the different channels. So you can just go download those. It's over on AV Nirvana that does all the tech support for REW. You can go and download those, and then you can play them back, and it goes through the different channels, and then do your sweeps that way. There's no reason to do anything else. That's as good as anything.
Yep. Or get the free demo disc for Dolby, or buy it for $10.
Well, that's just got pink noise. So it's like if you
Yeah.
want pink noise, that's fine. If you need the sweeps, those are available already for download. But I think what we've been pushing is the better overall approach, which is that manufacturers need to change the way that they do the processors so that anybody can basically take an input from any channel, like let's say the left input channel, and then send it out to any output channel you want. That just makes it easier.
How did they sound when you were at Massimo? Did they sound receptive to doing that? Because if they do that for Denon and Marantz, then it's game over. You'll never need another test disc again.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to talk to us more about it, but I think so.
Yeah, so we'll push for that, Shane. Okay, that's my front. We're going to push the manufacturers to give people the tools so you don't have to go out and buy an expensive disc.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but
Hey, fellas,
I told you guys,
man. I gotta work tomorrow.
Unreal Don's unlike Don to go home first. Very weird.
Almost
very weird. I'm disappointed in you.
That's all right. Why? I'll hang
The
for
only other person on this chat that I know that stays up as late as me is Shane, dude. He'll be texting me at 5 or 6 in the morning. I'm like, dude,
you guys don't have real jobs.
Got tons of video I got to put out.
A little bit.
Apparently, I'm making people second guess them. So, look, if you're happy with the sound of it, don't worry about what I say. I say lots of crazy stuff. You don't need to worry about.
DSP?
Yeah, the mini DSP. Apparently, I'm worrying people are going to stay up at night. It's the problem is it's really difficult to align for subwoofers and get good performance without it. It's just if I had my druthers, let's put it that way, I'd rather not use it. I mean, it's by the way, there's people who are saying it's only like 2 or 3 milliseconds of latency. That's the latency of the device with no processing. Processing adds latency.
That's a good point.
If you so once you start to add in your EQ, your low pass filter, your high pass filter, whatever, it goes up higher and higher and higher.
Yeah, I mean, I in my example in my theater room, I'm using the Marani with the FIR, and I calculated, I think it was like 4. I mean, it shows you 3.5 to 5 milliseconds depending on how many taps you use. I compensated for it with the other channels. I changed all the delays to compensate, but most people don't know that. But you could see this in REW. If you do a spectrogram in REW, you could see the misalignment if you don't fix this.
Yeah.
Using wavelets, or you can even use an impulse response. I mean, all of these tools are available for free in REW, but it needs to be more accessible for the average person. And that's why we need the multiplexing feature in AV receivers. That's going to be kind of our call to action this year, I think. I'm going to start, maybe I'll do a video with you, Matt, and we'll just do it specific on this topic, and then send it to all the receiver manufacturers and ask them to do it.
How many sub outs does that new Denon flagship have? Do you know?
4. Actually, it's 4, but it's got 8 connections. So it's got 4 XLRs and 4 unbalanced.
That's
it's not. Yeah, it's not 8 discrete. It's 4 discrete. It's just 2 different types of connectors.
It's still 4 discrete.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Unheard of. Yeah, unheard of.
It was very smart. I mean, that's when they were doing 2 and making a big deal. It's like, you're a little short. I mean,
Yeah,
really,
I need
the spatial
more
based
too.
stuff was about 3 to 4 subs. 2 was never really adequate. It's better than nothing, but better than 1.
Yeah.
When did they give you a time frame for the Dirac update?
Are you talking about this just the standard live update or the base control?
Just whatever. Just yeah.
They did, but I don't remember off the top of my head what it was. I thought it was. See, last time we did this was like a month ago. I said, "Isn't it supposed to be in a month?" But
Yeah,
we
it's supposed to
haven't
be Q1, and we're getting to the end.
Okay. I thought it was supposed to happen soon, and I have it written down somewhere where they said, but I don't remember. But the thing is, it's just the regular Direct Live, the same that's included on like the Pioneer Onkyo or the NAD. It doesn't have bass control, which I was disappointed to hear. And when I asked them when they were going to launch that, I was expecting them to give us an answer, and the answer was, we're open to working with Dirac on any basically future updates that they want. So they didn't give us a timeline. And I've heard people list a timeline, but
2024 is what I heard. Yeah.
I've heard that too, except for I was at Massimo at this exclusive event and they didn't tell us that. So I feel like either they were hiding something or that's not actually a real firm number.
What bothers me about Denon, as much as I love the brand and Marantz, you got a $6,000 receiver and it still has a GEQ.
Graphic EQ.
Yeah. Like, please get rid of that and give us parametric EQ. I understand you could go into Odyssey and you could use the biquad filters to simulate.
Isn't it like infinite number of biquad filters that way though?
It is, but you have to go into your PC. I mean, it's a whole process. Then you got to import it into the receiver. I just want instant access to BEQ.
I guess
I can set up a system in a half hour if I have access to PEQ and get it sounding pretty damn good, as opposed to going through this whole import export crap and running through it in auto calibration that usually makes things worse, not better, just so I can access the PEQ. That bothers me. So with Anthem Arc, I could set, I don't know if you guys are Dream Media or Anthem dealers, but Arc is probably the only room correction system I've used that I could set up a system in 10 minutes and it sounds good. It's not perfect, but it sounds freaking good and it's easy to use. Maybe it's not the most sophisticated out of all the room corrections, but Odyssey is a hot mess if you don't know what you're doing.
I don't have experience with Anthem.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why there's Anthem fanboys, because until I owned an Anthem product, I was like, they're just, blowing smoke. But then when I got the 1140 in and I set up a Klipsch passive soundbar with 2 JL in ceiling subs, and in 10 minutes, I had perfect phase alignment, excuse me, with the subs and the soundbar, and it found the right crossover point. I was like, this is very useful for the average Joe.
And that's our Genesis. Right.
Arc Genesis.
Yeah, Arc Genesis. But you had bad luck with Arc Genesis on the on that preamp you got.
That's because I was doing full range with no subs, and they won't admit to it, but anytime you raise the bass on a full range speaker without a sub, it proportionally lowers the mids and highs. At least on the STR. I don't know if it does it on the receivers, but yeah, that's a problem. So with these Revels, I can't fix the bass.
Revel.
So I need to add a sub. If I want to fix a $16,000 pair of speakers, I need to add a sub.
I think it's always good to have a sub. I don't have an issue with this.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
2 subs, one for each speaker.
Oh yeah, I would put if you put a sub on these speakers, they'll sound great.
I thought you were selling those.
I'm moving them to another room first, just to do a proper evaluation with one that has a lot of room gain. But I can't live
for over a year.
Man, I'll kill myself.
For a year.
Yeah, I know.
Let's kind of replace them.
RBH is making an active tower.
Yeah.
G Media is carrying
the mini modular one.
Yeah, it's modular. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because I have a straight steps that go straight up. It's really difficult to bring heavy gear up here, so I need something that's manageable to move.
What's So you guys are showing those off next few weeks there, Zach? The RBH stuff?
I don't know about that soon. We got a lot on our plate right now. I'm trying to crank out the AV and the amp 10 content, and really want to take a deep dive into the 4 sub output. And I was waiting for that Dirac Live to come out any day and dive into that setup, and wanted to do a whole configuration because I also need to finish. I got to do the Cinema 40 video, but I set up the Cinema 60 and Cinema 50 and then hooked it up to separates. And that's how I powered up this whole 526 and did a video for our subscription base to show them how to do it. So then I'm going to pull that out and go to the AV and amp 10 and walk through that whole interface. And then we got that Man Cave makeover thing on our plate, which is coming out in the next couple of weeks. We were supposed to put out the content from the Florida audio show. So even if we're putting out a video every day, we're a few weeks out. So RBH is probably a month and a half out.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kenny said it'd be at least a month before he gets the active modules for the towers that are being built. So,
so you guys are RBH dealers?
Yeah.
Cool.
Kind of low key right now, but yeah, once we have content, we'll be kind of screaming it from the hilltops on all that. So
I really wanted to check out the interface on that Denon. I mean, I was pretty impressed just like looking at it. I just did a quick unboxing, but I wanted to get it over to you, Shane, to get an outside, authentic opinion that wasn't Dream Media. I'll check it out again after you're done with it, or if you want to send it over to Gene. But definitely super excited about the amp and the AV10. It looks like top quality gear.
Nice stuff.
It's an interesting amp, that 16 channel that they're doing. It's basically modular, so there's 2 channels per module, and each of those 2 channels have a 500 watt power supply, SMPS. So it'll legitimately do. I think it's rated at 200 watts at 8 ohms, 400 at 4. And then if you bridge it, you'll get 400 at 8, but you're not going to get much more than that because the power supply is limited to 500. So put it this way, if you're setting this up, I wouldn't bridge it for 4 ohm speakers. I would probably leave it single-ended for that. Unless you've got extra channels, you might get maybe another 50 or 60 watts. You're not going to get double the power. You're definitely not going to get 800 watts at 4 ohms with it.
Yeah, I'm running 8 ohms, 8 ohm speakers in here. So I was actually kind of contemplating how I was going to set this thing up, because I was going to do a 7-channel bed layer, and then I want to, not that I really need it or will keep it hooked up permanently, but just wanted to hook up 4 subs to play around with the interface, just to see how it actually operates, and then 6 Atmos. And I was thinking, because I still have additional channels just to hook up, I ran to up here in the ceiling an extra RO3D Voice of God, and there's like all this controversy going on. So I was like, throw one in the ceiling and play with it, see what it sounds like. All we do is Dolby Atmos, so I don't have any hands-on experience with it.
Well, put it this way: if you're going in the ceiling, the pre-wire, do it all now, because you don't want to go up there twice.
I already put it up there. Yeah. And I put up an extra 2 speaker lines for in case I go to 8 Atmos down the road too. I don't know if that's coming, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Honestly, I wish these receiver companies would give you multiple side channels for larger theaters. All these channels, even the Anthem 15 channel processor, you can't set up 2 sets of side channels.
Yeah, they're more focused on extra ceiling channels than they are the extra side channels, but a lot of people don't need the extra ceiling channels.
The side channels are way more important. It's in my opinion, the side channel is the most important surround speaker in a setup.
It is, actually. There's good reason for that too, but unfortunately it's the one, just like in Zach, in your room, you get the problem is that there's no sidewall to put them on in a lot of open concept rooms. So it's the one speaker that gets left out the most. But for those that don't understand why it's the most important, from a psychoacoustic standpoint, the whole purpose of the side surrounds was to provide reproduction of the lateral reflections, which are what give you that sense of envelopment. So when you get rid of those, you lose that, and you can't put it behind you. It doesn't give you that anymore. So the side surrounds are actually one of the most important speakers in a surround system for providing that kind of envelopment experience. It really is more important. They actually did a ton of research on this. Multiple groups, a group in Japan did it. Harman did it. Others had looked into this and just found that those were like the most important speaker, and the angle had to be right. And putting them behind you loses that pretty dramatically. Unfortunately, I mean, even my theater in my family room, the surround system in my family room is the same problem. When you've got those open concepts, you don't have a place to put them. The only thing you can do is ceiling. I've been generally kind of unconvinced by this, but actually Anthony Gramani puts side surrounds in the ceiling when he has no other choice. Don, you've told me you do that. Gene, you did it.
That's what I did. Yeah.
So that may actually be a good option for people.
It's
to
the hardest speaker of all speakers.
Yeah.
So it works really. It works really good.
I was sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, Gene.
I was just gonna say real quickly. So in my experience with what I did in my family room, it works awesome for movie content. Like if you're watching The Last of Us or streaming any kind of special effect kind of stuff. But when you listen to multi-channel music, you can definitely hear that it pans from the front center all the way up to the ceiling, and it's a little artificial sounding. So like with spatial audio music, there's sometimes where there's an echo effect that should be to the side, and when it's above me, it's a little bit distracting. But it's better than not having any surround speakers at all.
Yeah, I was on the fence if I was going to put them in these rooms. I ran the wire kind of like I did the Atmos, just because I was like, I can't help myself but pop them in. But I'm a little back, as you can see. Like I'm thinking about putting one right here. So that's not really to spec, you know, it's not where I'd like it to be. And then over here on the bar side, I can get it in line with the surround right, but it's a little high. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll just calibrate it out, and it's better than not having it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, something you could try just to experiment. You could just put some side surrounds on stands temporarily and play around with it, and then move them into that position temporarily and see if you get the effect. And if it seems like it's working well enough, then you cut holes in your walls and go with it. And if it doesn't work, don't do it.
I did it with the Vestia bookshelves. When Focal sent me the Vestia number 1, 2, and 3, I put the Vestia 1s here because I was curious. Just real quick, hooked them up. And it definitely added a little bit more 3D effect, because, I mean, right now it's just transferring from the front soundstage right to the back. Yeah. And, you know, I'm getting Atmos when I get Atmos, but I'm missing a lot.
That's a difficult room, Zach.
It's
beautiful. But it's a really common room shape.
Trust me, I know better than anybody. It's really difficult. Now, Gene, we did those angled speakers on yours for the side surrounds. Those worked out pretty good in that particular application.
Yeah, I love that system. I really do. I mean, it's a common room. It has no room treatments, but I put a diffuse wall. It was more for decorative. I didn't know it would have good acoustic properties. And I think the RT60 decay time of that room is under 700 milliseconds, which is right at the threshold, right, Matt? I mean, in terms of being a good sounding room, it's a little high. I'd rather have it at like 500, but considering
it's a big room. So the thing that a lot of people like to cite the like standard of 0.3 or 0.35 milliseconds, but that's first off, that's for a dedicated theater space or a an ITU standard sound room. But the other part of it is it's for a more standard sized room. Your room has high ceilings. It's open to the kitchen and dining area. It's a really large space. So the RT60 of that room is going to be high by nature, and it's not going to sound as high as it really is. So yeah, I think it's fine. I've heard it. I think it's a good sounding room.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys, 2.5 hours. Let's call it a night right now before people start falling asleep on us.
Shane's got to go get a burger at In-N-Out Burger right now.
That's when I go. Damn, I'm Taco Bell or something.
Dine and Dash. He's
or Taco Bell. He's got to go to. He's gonna make a Taco Bell run after this. I know him.
But with once you guys plug your channels, Kellen, what you guys coming up? You guys got coming up on your channels? What's happening?
You'll have to stay tuned. No, we've got AWOL, the Man Cave Makeover winner, RBH, and then fingers crossed, we have a couple of companies that that I personally really like and would like to see us carry. So some of that news should be coming shortly. Whether or not it happens, we're going to be meeting with those manufacturers. So fingers crossed, but we have some cool things coming down the pipeline on Dream Media on YouTube.
And in the very short term, for a lot of you guys watching this, it may be a little redundant and not necessary to watch, but for my average consumers out there, I'm going to be doing a whole run through of the cinema 40, 50, 60, 70, and the amp 10, AV 10, and comparing all of the differences and talking about application and different reasons you may want to consider different models, just for my average consumers out there.
Nice. Matt's got a channel too. Did you plug that?
I do Pose
Plug your channel,
Acoustics. I usually just post random crap on there and people watch it, and I'm usually amazed that people find it helpful. But yeah, please watch Pose Acoustics, subscribe. And then of course I put all my good stuff out on Gene's channel.
Yeah, once every 3 years. No.
But it takes a while to produce good stuff.
We're about to launch a Haven Smart YouTube channel. We'll be
Really?
back in that Audiolics. Yeah, we're going to be highlighting many of these premiere jobs that we do, and we're trying to film as much as we can now and have content when we bring it out. But we got some spectacular jobs. I mean, they're fun to watch, just to look at, just to see what the other half does on a lot of them. So we're pretty excited about that. And of course, Gene will be involved with everything on that, as well as Matt, because Matt's my high-end design guy and what we're doing. So we're probably going to be in the spotlight pretty heavy here soon.
Nice. And then Gene, don't even have to ask you. You always got shit going on in your channel.
Okay, nice introduction. So on the editorial site, we have Arundel, a couple of subwoofers that James Larson reviewed. I should have posted that 2 weeks ago, so it'll probably come out this week. And then Matt actually did a written review for the RTJ speaker system. I got to post that. That's all ready to go. And then on the YouTube channel,
Took 3 years.
Well, that wasn't all your fault either, admittedly.
No.
There was issues going on there. And then on our YouTube, I've got a couple more Florida Audio Expo videos to post, and I've got a Martin Logan video on the new F series, or the new Motion XT series. I interviewed their engineers about the design. Those are really nice sounding speakers. I don't know if any of you guys heard the new Martin Logan Motion XTs. I was really impressed at how they imaged, and beautiful. I mean, it's a completely different speaker from its last generation, which wasn't a bad speaker. It wasn't a perfect speaker, but I'm telling you, man, the new F100s and F200s are the speaker to look more closely at, Shane. You need to
hot
get
shit
in
right now.
They are really good from what
And
I heard.
we're hoping to get a pair for review.
Yeah.
I mean, they were supposed to send them to you. I don't know why you don't have them yet, but
Me either. I want to hook them up to the Sony.
I'm waiting for 200s.
And we can find out if it's a good match or not.
yeah, I mean, I think it would be. I mean, so the demo I heard was on Anthem STR integrated, which is a pretty powerful amp, and in a small room, medium-sized room, wasn't very heavily treated. I just was blown away by how they imaged. Like, I was getting good spatiality from the sidewalls, a good anchored center. They were neutral. They weren't honky sounding. They weren't boomy sounding. I know the last Motion series played loud and they were dynamic. There was a little bit mid-bass bloat in them. I think they addressed that in these speakers. They've redesigned the cabinets, but they also did some ground bounce compensation, keeping the woofers lower to the ground, and that waveguide on that tweeters, I think, is what the real magic is. On
Very
that.
well thought out system.
And I think they're beautiful. I know people say
cool
they don't
looking.
like the baffle on it, but I love the baffle on it. So
I like the baffle. I think they look cool. I want them to send me the white pair. I thought those were really pretty. So
that would be nice and white. Yeah.
Yeah, go good in my house too.
They're pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be sleeping on the couch if I actually try to keep
where
them,
are you going to put it? Go good in your house. Where?
I don't know. I tell my wife they're going in the bedroom temporarily because I don't want to carry them upstairs.
Yeah, you don't
there
want to
was
carry those
also-
upstairs. About
I'll carry
86
them
pounds or
upstairs for you.
something.
I just had to carry those Sopra number 2s and the concrete finish up 3 flights of stairs. That was fun.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all. You know,
Which one
that's the
near
one thing about doing reviews I think people don't understand. Everybody thinks it's like so cool you get to play with all this gear. And I just got a request yesterday evening about reviewing some giant subwoofers, like double 18s and 24s and stuff. And it's like, I'd love to, but who's going to carry a 500-pound sub up to my theater?
Put them at my shop and we'll measure them there.
I won't pick up an amplifier that's more than 100 pounds anymore. I broke my back on the 10-channel Denon years ago when I put it in my middle Atlantic rack by myself with 132 pounds, and I couldn't walk for 2 days after that. So I'm done screwing up my lower back.
Well, I'm not a big guy, so I hurt myself carrying that Sony inside.
Yeah, that A1H kicked my butt. Shane, wait till you have to hold that thing inside.
Shane moved a perilous and sub by himself up a flight of steps out a D215S. I don't understand
upstairs.
You
how
roll
did you
it.
do that?
Yeah.
You rolled it?
Yeah.
You flip it over and over up the stairs.
That poor Perlison.
Roll it right up there, man.
Damn.
Did you just kick it on down the stairs to get it out of the house?
Slide it right down.
Yep.
All right.
But guys, thank you for watching tonight. If you guys want to join any of our Patreons, we got Patreons. Gene's got one as well, but I'm only going to pimp mine. It's patreon.com/Shane Lee. You can join for as little as $1 a month. That's $12 a year. You guys can afford that, of course. $5 a month or $10 a month. If you really love the channel and the content that I put out, you can join for $10 a month. You can chat me up, DM me directly. I usually get back to you pretty quickly. There's always some great deals on my Patreon as well. Some of the stuff I review, sometimes 50% off, maybe 60% off on my patreon.com/Shane Lee. So join my Patreon if you want to, value my opinion and stuff like that. You can enjoy the content that I put out. Also having these clowns on here as well. If you like their content, check out their channels. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. 2.5 hours, 40 minutes.
Damn.
Thank you guys. We'll catch you.